Is she coming on stage or?
Shabbat Shalom, family. Welcome to part two. Welcome to part two. We doing this thing, y'all. We doing it. May the Most High be praised. Just getting everything ready and set up so we can rock and roll and do our thing and give praises to this King and acknowledge him in all that we do. The Creator is King. Truly he is. In this part of our day, what we do normally is we like to give thanks to the Almighty. So if you in the listening audience, you can either come live on the screen or you can type it in the room. Either way, at this time, we give thanks to what we do. We don't give thanks. What we do is this part is when we give the commandments of the Almighty. So if you have a commandment, you feel free, please. Shabbat Shalom, Abba.
Shabbat Shalom, Abba.
Either type it in the screen, or you can come up on the display and we'll invite you in. All right? May the Most High be praised. But this part is the commandment part, where you give your commandment to the people about the Almighty, what He said in His law, how we supposed to do things, and you just give your version, your explanation of it, and we'll take it from there. But if you rather come on the screen and speak it, then we can send you the link, and you can come in on the screen. Shabbat Shalom, Sister Sakari. Shabbat Shalom, Sister TT. May the Most High be with you both. And everybody else in the listening audience that have not made your appearance known, Shabbat Shalom like him. All right, so who would like to be first to give their commandment? That's a wonderful commandment. I like that commandment. Wonderful commandment. Strong, powerful, robust. Shabbat Shalom, Queen Fatima. Shabbat Shalom, Sister Sa'adiyah. I was thinking about you, Sister Sa'adiyah. I was thinking about you the other day. May the Most High be with you.
So my law, I do have a law, but before we begin, I see we have 9 people in the room and we have 6 likes, so please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and share the page. We have 11 people in the room now, 6 likes, so let's go with that. And I see Sister Saadia put her law in the room, so I could read that first before I do mine.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So when she put her law, I'll wait for her to put her comment.
Wait a minute. Mm-hmm. Saadia usually come on the screen and tell us her law verbatim.
Okay.
That is, Sister Saadia, did you want to come on the screen and speak your law? Or did you want for somebody to read it for you? If you choose to come on the screen, here's the link. See, she got a whole lot to say. So, Ima, how about if you give yours commandment and then we'll see if she comes on. If she doesn't, oh, there she go. I tell you, she ready, boy. She be ready. He gonna tell me to come on. Let me get ready.
No, I wasn't expecting you to tell me to come on. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Sorry.
Shalom.
So I put Exodus 23 verse 2 about not following. Oh, thank you. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou bear witness and a cause to turn aside after a multitude to pervert justice. Well, in today's society, because we're in the land of our exile or the land of our captivity, a lot of times with judges and so I got distracted because I see myself on the TV as well. Yeah. So with judges and police officers, a lot of times they are perverting the justice against our people. We get 7 to 12 times a higher rate of incarceration, and that is a perversion of the Most High's law. And so that's what I was saying in terms of today's society with racism against our people. This is what is actually happening, as well as within our communities as well. Sometimes there is a perversion of justice with judgment against men or against women. A lot of times we don't see to get the whole understanding of a situation, and so people join alliances with people that they shouldn't.
That's very well. Very good. May the Most High be praised. You broke it down very well. They join alliances with people that they otherwise wouldn't. Why do you think they join alliances with these people? What's some of the reasons why you think that happens?
I think it happens because it takes like when the Mosai says be strong and of good courage, it takes strength and courage to speak your mind, to speak in a sense that doesn't correlate with everybody else's understanding. I think also because people are influenced to be liked. People don't really want to be set apart, even though the Most High calls us to be set apart. People also do those things because a lot of people are still wicked. They haven't really done their own work, so they don't see the importance of judging righteously.
Very good. Some people, they are tricked into joining the sides of the unrighteous. Like some people are pre-warned about all these things and characteristics and trait about an innocent man that he or woman that they're truly not guilty of. But because the accuser got to the person first, they usually side up with that individual. Yeah, it is. This is a crafty world we're living in today. And like you said, it takes a strong man or strong woman to resist this type of behavior, this type of activity. It does. It's so easy to do sin. It's so hard to live righteously. Have you ever noticed that? In today's world, it's so easy to do sin, but so very extremely difficult to live righteously. That's the reality of the world we find ourselves in today. Thank you, Sister Saadia. May the Most High be praised. Is there anything else you want to comment to that?
No, thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Total Rabbah. Shalom, shalom. Zima there with you?
Can she is.
Okay, Ima, you can go next. You can go next, Ima.
Yeah.
You ready, Ima?
No. She's not ready yet, Prince.
Hey, ready yet? Tell Ima she's supposed to be born ready. I'm born ready, Prince. Yes. Yes. Get that gusto in the voice. Yes, Prince, I'm ready. It's okay, Ima. We got you. All right. Ima, did you want to go?
Sure can. I can go.
Okay.
And my law will be found in the book of Numbers, the Midbar, and it's a long one, so I'm only going to read a portion of it because it's really, it's really long. But it's found in the 35th chapter, verse 14. And it reads, "You shall give 3 cities beyond the Jordan, and 3 cities shall you give in the land of Canaan. They shall be cities of refuge for the children of Israel, and for the stranger and for the settler among them shall these 6 cities be for refuge, that everyone that killeth any person through error may flee to them." So, of course, the Most High, this is him giving these commandments, or this to Moshe. and he told them that they're to have 3 cities, one on this side of the Jordan and one over here in Canaan. 3 in each side, so that if someone kills someone accidentally, when it says by error, accidentally, that they run to the city of refuge, or they're able to go to the city of refuge, so that the person that they killed accidentally's family, loved one, whatever, friend, doesn't come to kill them because it was accidentally. But it goes on, because that's why I say it's really long, but it goes on to explain if you use a weapon, if you go and hit somebody with something, they die, then you're a murderer and you shall die. So it goes on further and further about all the different things that are not allowed, or people who are not allowed to go to the city of refuge.
Okay.
Thank you.
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah.
Anybody? Yeah.
So the city of refuge is only set up for if you kill somebody by accident?
That's what it says.
Okay. How long did you have to stay there?
You have to read that further. Let's see.
Ema,
Yes.
how long did you have to stay there?
I don't know. I didn't read that part.
Wait a minute. See, this is a prime example. Stop peeping, Ema. Stop peeping. This law is supposed to be in here with us.
Okay, man.
It's supposed to be right in here. Some of these things we might need a jump start, but after that, we remember, we there. So in your remembrance, how long do you think the person had to remain in the city of refuge? Until when? Until what happened?
I don't remember the year, and only just from listening to it. It was, because I don't recall the year of Jubilee being in this part, but I think it was until either, because I don't remember, so I don't want to guess a year.
But maybe you should guess because it's probably in your mind, but you're afraid you don't have it. You had to stay in that city until something happened. What was it that had to happen?
So you have to stay in that city until the high priest, I believe.
See what I mean? I knew you knew it. It's in you. The Creator put it in your inward parts. You got to trust in yourself. Go ahead, say it.
So you have to stay in the city until the high priest passed away.
There you go. You see that? You had the answer all along. That's why you can't read that book and think that you're going to keep coming out the book every week. Sometimes you got to go into your essence and pull out your commandment. And then as you speak it, it'll come to you and you'll remember it. If you don't remember it in verbatim, paraphrase.
Okay.
That's right. Paraphrase. Just say it to the best of your remembrance. But if we keep being handicapped by looking in the book every time we got to give a commandment, that's how we're going to be in life. And that means we're going to walk out in the streets and be violating the laws of the Creator because we didn't write it in our inward parts. Sister Sakari says a commandment. Thank you, Mom. Very good job. That's right. You see that? See that?
Zaquina Sakari's law can be found in Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 20. You shall fear the Creator and serve Him. You shall serve Him. Okay, her. Let me go to it because I don't like when I can't, if it's not a full. Deuteronomy 10, chapter 20. Thou shalt fear the Creator thy power. Him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and by his name shalt thou swear. And Aim Sukari's Explanation is, I will fear, be faithful, and hold fast, and never forsake him. And never forsake.
I will fear, faithful, and hold fast, and never forsake him. Okay. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. So there's the link, family. If you want to come on and speak your piece, like Sister Saadia did earlier, you're welcome to do so. May the Most High be praised.
I can go next. My commandments from Shemot, Exodus chapter 28, verses 42 and 43. And this whole chapter is about anointing the priesthood and the high priest. But I just went to the very end. And it says, and thou shalt make them linen breeches to cover their nakedness, from the loins even unto the thighs they shall reach. And they shall be upon Aaron and upon his sons when they come in unto the tabernacle of the congregation, or when they come near unto the altar to minister in the holy place, that they bear not iniquity and die. It shall be a statute forever unto him and his seed after him. So what I'm getting from this is two things. One, that the priest and high priest have specific things that they should wear. I think in the chapter before, not chapter before, the verses before, it speaks a little bit more about it, but like the breastplate and things like that. But for this, the Most High said he wants them to wear, at least for this part, maybe linen breeches. Not that they couldn't wear cotton. I don't think that's necessarily what it's saying, but the Most High here is saying wear linen breeches. And these breeches, or this garment, should be long, right? It should cover their private areas and be pretty much what I think is down to the ground, or if not down to the ground, at least cover all their thighs. Unto the thighs they shall reach, right? So they have specific things that they should wear, linen and maybe even cotton, the breastplate, all those things, so they can look the part, but also they need to be covered so that way people, when they walk past, people don't stare at places they shouldn't be staring, or when they walk up steps, or when they're on the ground praying, that their private areas aren't exposed, which would defile them, and that defiles them because they are they're representatives of the Creator, right? And we all are in our own right, but specifically the Levites and the priests are closest of all the tribes to the Creator, representing the Creator to the people. So they are not to be exposed in that type of way, in any form at all whatsoever. So yeah, that's my commandment. That's just the last little bit of that chapter.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah.
Toda Rabbah.
Now, the priest didn't wear cotton. The priest wore linen.
Okay.
Everything that they had on was linen. And breeches, for those who don't know, breeches was the first introductory of pants to our people. They was from the waist down to the thighs, past the thighs. They were called breeches. They were to cover the bottom parts, the private area of a man. And just like you said, so if he's prostrating or he's walking up the stairs or anything, so that his private parts would be covered. Absolutely.
Okay.
So I'd be praised. Toda Rabbah. So that's the first instance of pants throughout the scriptures. Anyone else?
Shabbat Shalom, Ms. Parker. This is TT Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom. Hey, hey.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right.
I first would like to give all honor and praise to Yehovah Zevaot. And I also would like to show respect to you, Prince Hanasi, Kaz, and Princess Medaya. Also to Autumn Yisrael and to Elder Mattathias. May the Most High be praised for all of the family in Yisrael on this Shabbat day, and therefore,
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
She came on big time. She gave a whole accolade. Go ahead. I got you. Go ahead. Do your thing. We listening.
Okay, my commandment is Devarim, chapter 17, 14 through 15. When thou art come into the land which Jehovah thy Elohim giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like all the nations that are round about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Jehovah thy Elohim shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thou mayest not put a foreigner over thee, who is not thy brother. Salik. I got from that as a people who are commanded to do the Lord's statutes and commandments unto Jehovah, our Ha Elohim, we shall not set a foreigner over us because they do not understand what we understand. We do not go against the laws of the Most High Creator, and therefore a stranger can observe any realm of deities and things that are not of our lineage. So to set him king over us, he can only be a thorn in our side and a thorn unto Jehovah, who is our great creator. So therefore, sometimes dwelling amongst other people, we pick up their deities and other evil ways. But because we are a righteous nation, we shall not put a stranger upon us and go by their ways because they will push their agenda onto us. So if he is our king, we will have no choice but to do what he commands us to do and not what the Most High commands us to do, which will then cause us to err in the sight of the Most High Yah. So therefore, we always have to pick our own people, and he has to be set forth for us through the Most High Yah. The Most High Yah picks him. We don't have the ability to pick a person to be our king because as people, we find people that they're charming, they're well established, and then we start looking towards them as like someone to put instead of the Most High. So, as a king, you have to write in the scriptures every day so that you have a bond with the Most High and keep his law, statutes, and commandments so that you can rule his people in righteousness. So, that's my explanation of why I chose Devarim 14 through 15. May the Most High be praised. And Toda Rabbah for having me give a commandment.
Don't
May
go
you all be blessed.
Don't go nowhere yet. Don't go nowhere yet.
Okay.
You spoke beautifully.
Toda.
You represented beautifully.
Toda.
Your explanation was beautifully done.
Toda.
Good job. Yes, you did. You did a great job.
May the Most High be praised.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So would you mind if I asked you a few things?
Sure.
Okay. How long have you been in this way of life?
18 years.
That's probably why you did so good of a job, huh? 18 years. That's a long time.
Hallelujah.
It's a long time. May the Most High be praised.
Toda Rabbah.
You ever thought about coming on being a reader?
Well, I,
You,
I'm a bit, like I said before, shy. So I like to play the back so that way I can learn. I'm more of a person that like to observe and learn and take notes. But I guess I could be a little more involved if need be.
hey, your voice is like, you got that voice. You got it going on. So when Sister Mead ain't around, she don't be showing up sometimes. She probably here now listening to me. What, you give my job away? But she ain't around.
Okay.
If you don't mind, when we ask to volunteer, hey Prince, I got you, Prince. And I think you would.
Dang.
No, seriously, certain people have gifts. Certain people do. Certain people have gifts from the Creator. And you sound like you can sing. Can you sing?
I don't know. I was asking a very dear friend of mine if he could teach me how to sing.
Oh, you
So
know how to
I
sing?
don't know.
Your very dear friend knows how to sing?
Yes, he does.
I would
Yes, he does.
I wouldn't know your very dear friend knows how to sing because he doesn't express it to make it known that he knows how to sing. Why do people have, wait a minute, I'm getting upset now. Why do people have all these talents? We come to the house of worship, the worship the Most High, and we don't display our gifts.
I guess some of us are a little, I guess
No,
we're introverts. Some of us are introverts.
he's not an introvert. He's not an introvert. He's not shy. He's not bashful. He's very boisterous. You should hear him when he voices his opinion.
I do. And I learned a lot from him.
Now, when the men come on the platform, I need the men to start singing. You got these, I want to hear this. Share what the Most High has blessed you with. Oh, man.
I know it's a great joy. It's a great joy.
Sis, you sing very well. I mean, I don't know if you sing well because I ain't heard it yet, but you have a great voice. And
Torah Rabbah.
decide to do us the honors, please feel free. Like today, Sister Ornette don't show up. We're gonna need a reader today, you know.
King.
If she doesn't show up, if she show up, then you know I can't give away her position. You know,
That's right.
she's
right.
been there for a long time, and you know, I'm not one of those people who are disloyal. I stay loyal, blind, you know, to the code. But if she don't show up, then that's a different story. Somebody else would have to do the job, but hopefully she'll show up and not let us down, you know.
Hallelujah.
She'd be doing something else and she don't be having the opportunity to tune in and do her thing. But, you know, whatever the Most High's will is, let it be done. Thank you.
King. Hallelujah. Torah Rabbah for everything, Prince Hanasi. Kid.
That's how we do.
Okay.
So hang around somewhere, you know, when we start that part, if sis ain't here, you know, we'll be like,
Absolutely.
anybody want to volunteer for the reading? You know, always you can jump on. You already got the link. Just jump right back on in.
King.
All
Will
right.
do. Hallelujah.
Toda Rabbi. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All right. Somebody know how to sing. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. All right. Who else would like to volunteer to be next to give their commandment? We're on that part of our day, family, where we post the commandments, or you can take the link and come in and speak your commandment, whichever you choose. And I know some of you are really wanting to do it, but you're a little scared, you're a little afraid. Oh, I don't want them to know it's me. It's okay. You ain't got to say your name. You ain't got to go off the page. All you got to do is come in, speak it, or type it in the room. May the Most High be praised.
Okay, and I'll go ahead and do mine. Say Shabbat Shalom again to everyone, to Prince Kez, the esteemed leader of Beulah community, to Princess Madaya. Hey,
we just even the score with that one, Albert. We just even the score. If y'all had one up on us, we just even the score.
but she's also the esteemed Princess Madaya, to Coat Autumn, and also to Queen TT Yisrael, Torah, for being there. And I'll go ahead and give my commandment from Devarim 12. And it says, these are the laws and right rulings which you guard to do in the land which Yahuwah Elohim of your Abbas is giving to you to possess. All the Yamim that you live on the soil, completely destroy all the places where the nations which you're dispossessing serve their mighty ones, on the high mountains and on the hills and on every green tree. And you shall break down their altars and smash their pillars and burn their asherim with fire. And you shall cut down the carved images of their mighty ones and shall destroy their name, so likely out of that place. And what I got from that was, as that was a physical destruction of the mighty ones and the images that were there, being that we are in our fall feast times, there are also those that are serving so many other mighty ones that are also celebrating. In fact, they celebrate year round. Many of the Wiccans and the different practitioners of the dark arts are doing so many different things during this time. And something that I'm finding is that it has been touched on before, even as Princess Madaya had said earlier, that whenever we show up in a place, people see our attire, see the way that we carry ourselves, our stature. They'll see our seats, see our fringes when we go out. And so it causes people to question, who are they? And even as she said, many people will say, well, no, don't talk to them, because many have gotten some stereotypical information about us. And there are many that have brought a bad name upon many of our people. And so what happens is that when we carry ourselves upright, it not only opens the door for dialogue, so that we can explain why we believe what we believe, and the Torah of our Most High Creator. It also allows us to, as we explain and bring forth this truth, to be able to tear down the altars that people set up in their minds and their ideals. And it allows us to be able to smash the pillars, the foundations that these people have, and that and it tears down many of the stereotypes that people have about us. Because when we open our mouths as the people of Israel, then they see, okay, that they're different from what I've heard, that their stand and their stance is one of truth. And many people say, well, okay, we know that they how was it told to me one time? Well, I know that you call him by a different name. I said, no, that's not a different name. That is his name, because what you're calling is a title. That's not a name at all. Especially when many people vaunt themselves to be English majors or majors of the language. Then I'm like, okay, then if you understand the rules of grammar, then you understand the difference between a name, the difference between a title, the difference between translation and transliteration. So it allows us to be able to go forth and to really be able to explain and to really just have that dialogue, to where plant those seeds of truth. And once those seeds of truth are planted, they're going to grow. And whether they bring forth or not, we've done our part by going forth and spreading. So it allows us to go with truth, tear down the falsehood, tear down the lies, and to tear down any misgivings that they have. And again, if they hold on to them, that's up to them. But at least we've done our part by tearing that down with truth. And I yield.
May the Most High be praised. That was a commandment that I gave last week about burning their gold, smashing the houses of worship, and taking the gold and rededicating it somewhere else. But you had to melt it down first. If it could withstand the fire, let it withstand the fire. Tear it down. So you just brought upon it. But you didn't talk about the gold part. That might be in a different part. But you did talk about smashing their asheret and their buildings, their houses of worship. May the Most High be praised. That's very good. Where's Bain Azante at?
I believe he's still in his camper, so he's not up here.
Okay. May the Most High be praised. Okay, maybe he hears. All right. All right.
Sister Fatima's law can be found in the book of Leviticus, Vayikra, chapter 19, verse 9 and 10. And it reads, "And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corner of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleaning of thy harvest. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather the fallen fruit of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and for the stranger. I am the Most High, your Creator."
Very good, sis. Now you just got to give us the explanation, sis, of what that law was saying. If you get a chance, just type it in the room, Sister Fatima. Queen Fatima, just put it in the room and let us know what it is that the commandment is saying in your understanding. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. All right. And if there's anyone else in the audience who you have a commandment, just type it in the room so we can get to that part and recite your commandment and say it in the ears of the people. Or if you want to come on the screen, you can do it yourself. Melchizedek, Shabbat Shalom, my brother. Shabbat Shalom, Melchizedek. Y'all got to hear him say his own name. He says it different than me. He got a little swing to it. Y'all, you know what? If he can come on the screen, I'll invite him on. He can speak his name. I mean, you just got to hear him say it. He says it, he got a little swing to it when he said it. His energy is so strong. Hey, Melchizedek, I met a brother the other day. What's his brother's name? Ya'aron, I think his name is. I met a brother the other day, and you two have a like spirit. And I told the brother that you two have a like spirit. And I told him I wanted to introduce you to him so he can see somebody and meet somebody who has a spirit like his. Y'all probably relatives in the spiritual realm down the line somewhere. Y'all fathers was probably your father's father's father or grandfather or somebody. Y'all probably was in the same bloodline and got separated some kind of way. He's about your age too. I think he's 40. So it would be a good thing for you to meet the brother. All right.
Fatima says I just love how the Creator has given laws of even how to care for those who are less fortunate.
That's right. May the Most High be praised. Tell her about. Okay, what will be fine? You coming on the platform or you meeting the brother? Queen Fatima post.
Her explanation is basically the law is saying, as the Creator bless your land, vineyard, lots, etc., to not forget those who have not.
There you go. May the Most High be praised. And you know that you don't have to have a vineyard or a field to not forget those who have none. If you got neighbors live next door to you, as a representative of the Almighty, you should share with them. You should show kindness to them. If you see something that they may need, Imam, mute your phone. Thank you. If you see something that's one of them may need, especially the children, then you can basically do that. I remember we used to live to some people next door to some people, and they was less fortunate. And I noticed that the sister, Imam, who was driving the car, needed some tires because her tires was balded and balded and bald. So I bought her some tires, right? And I just put them in front of her door and just left. I just left and I don't know if she know who bought them tires for her to this day. I don't know. But I put them in front of her door and I just took off because I didn't want to infringe, upon nobody or disrespect or make nobody feel no kind of way. And they don't need to know that you did this for them. Everybody ain't got to know everything that you do. You can do things charity-wise and just drop it on them and keep on moving. All right. Shabbat shalom, family. All right. He's resting and listening. Okay. All right. No problem. Put your commandment in the room if you don't mind. If you don't mind. Shabbat shalom, Brown. Indeed, keep a case of water for a homeless person. A simple gesture, care and consideration for others, because we are one collective consciousness. Very good. May the Most High be praised. May the Most High be praised. Chief Malak, Shabbat Shalom. All right. So is that it? Anyone else want to post their commandment or say their commandment? If anybody, we got all these people, 1,700 people in the room, and nobody saying commandments, nobody posting commandments. Come on, what we doing, family? What we going to do? Any more commandments? Because we get ready to go. Once we go, we gone. Yes, yes. May the Most High be praised. All right, nobody's posting commandments. All right, so I'm going to say some commandments. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt have no other power before the Most High thy power. How about that? All right. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not covet anything that is thy neighbor's. Thou shalt keep the Shabbat day holy. Thou shalt do no manner of work on the Shabbat day. Is that it, y'all? Did I say enough? Did I say enough commandments? She said no. She hollering through the floor. No. So I guess I didn't do enough. Yeah, I can hear you. All right. So let's see where we want to go at. I think it's the book of Deuteronomy. it says something about if a man, Deuteronomy 24, what verse it comes in, probably around 16 to 18, I'm not sure. It says something about if a man gets caught stealing a Hebrew man and he treats him as a slave, simply put, he shall die. Just that simple. He shall die. If a man steals a Hebrew man and treats him as a slave and get caught, or if he sells him, he shall die. It's no questioning, no beating around the bush. He's straight to the point. Take his life. Take him out. Thus saith the Most High. Was I right? 16 to 18, somewhere around there, 24 Deuteronomy, something like that. I don't know. You know, y'all be checking up, make sure Prince still on point, make sure I ain't slipping. I know. I don't know the exact place, but it's somewhere up in there.
It's 24:7.
24 and 7. Oh, I was off a little bit, but okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Chief Malak says, honor thy father and thy mother. The honoring of the parent is held high in the heavens. It helped diminish sin. Very good. Very good commandment. May the Most High be praised. All right. Is that it for the commandments?
Hey,
All right. Does anyone have anything they want to say before we begin our lesson? Because we about to get it in, family. Part 2 of They Did Not Know the Creator. And look, I still pointing with the same typo. No. Can you put that thing on mute, please? Put your phone on mute, please. Your computer. Thank you. See, my wife, she pointed that out to me earlier. She said, did you know you spelled no wrong? Did you know you spelled the word no wrong? I said, no, I didn't spell it wrong. I said, I speak multiple languages. That's a foreign language. The no is a different language, but no, she was right. I was wrong. And even when I reposted it, I didn't fix it because I forgot it was wrong. So may the Most High have mercy, and may we get into our class today. And when I say it, let me say it correctly. Knoiw.
That's exactly how it was too, Knoiw.
All right. So let's get busy. Here we go. So we need a reader. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody said they wanted to sing. Oh, okay. I just thought I heard somebody say they wanted to sing a song for us today on the Shabbat before we started. Okay, I guess not. All right. No instigations over here. Would anybody like to volunteer to read?
I thought you had asked
Yeah, but I gotta ask if anybody would like to volunteer. Don't just put it on nobody.
I can read until I'm unavailable with the baby. Oh,
So I take it that would anybody like to volunteer to read? Somebody needs to be volume down.
I'll read.
Okay, wonderful. Let's go. Let's get this thing going. Y'all ready? Anybody like to volunteer? You got the volume down in the background.
King.
I can read until I'm unavailable with the baby.
Where are we starting from?
All right, let's rock and roll. We're in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 4. But before we begin, it's 1 Samuel chapter 4, verse 1. There's some things I wanted to read about what I had put up earlier. It's this. Can you all see that?
Okay.
All right. We
Okay.
started today's lesson in 1 Samuel chapter 1, 2. 1 Samuel chapter 2 is where we started today's lesson from. That started in the first half, and we read 2 and 3, and now we're going to pick up on 4. And we covered a whole story. If anybody that's here now wasn't here earlier, you missed a hell of a class. So if you have the ability and it's the Most High's will, you should go back and watch the first half because they both tied together in unison. Okay? You can be right in the house of the Most High, born by blood into the covenant, and you cannot know him. Hophni and Phinehas. Hophni and Phinehas was Eli's sons, born in the house of the Most High. And they were some evil men, wicked men. They were priests, and they did not know the Almighty. Matter of fact, they lived for so long as priests, serving the people to the capacity that they did, which was evil and wicked. They lived so long, 40 years almost, or a little more, and never heard the voice of the Creator. What that says to me is that things like that can take place today. There's a lot of people sitting on a podium just like this, claiming to be servants of the Almighty, but never hearing the voice of him, never experiencing the true nature of him. They'll be garbed up, looking good with the fringes, the zits, and the shoes, but their essence is totally out of alignment with the Almighty's will. They'll have a house packed full of people because the people are wicked. It's just the real simple truth to it. There are way more people in the world than there are righteous people. They outnumber us about 10 to 1, 15, 20 to 1. There are so many wicked people in the world that teacher who is totally out of his proper alignment with the Almighty will have a jam-packed house. Thick, packed. He called for an event, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people show up because that's how it is. That's the reality of the world we live in. Hophni and Phinehas were some wicked individuals raised up in the house of the Most High, but did not know the Most High. Scripture says that it was a long time before the Most High had anyone heard a prophecy or anything from the Creator until Samuel came along. And when Samuel came along and got old enough, he grew into age and grew into wisdom. Through his dedication and his practices, the Most High introduced himself to him. You know how he visits Samuel? In a dream at night in his bed. Samuel was in the bed sleeping. He heard someone call his name, and he thought it was Eli in the next room. So he gets up, he talks to Eli. He says, "Here I am. How can I serve you?" Eli said, "I ain't call you. Go back and lay down." He kept happening. And on the third time, Eli said, "Oh, I see what it is. That's the Most High talking to you. We haven't heard the voice of the Most High in years. Why he choose to talk to you, I don't know, but he got something to tell you. So go lay down, and when you hear that, this is what you say. Here I am, Lord. Here I am, Creator. Your servant is here to do your work. What is it that you have to say to me?" And he did just that. And the Most High spoke to him. And from that day forward, Samuel knew the Creator. But many of us today, in our today's time, we don't know the Most High. You can have all the secret hidden mysteries revealed to you and still not know the Most High. Somebody's mic needs to be muted. You can have all those secret mysteries revealed to you and still not know the Almighty. People who practice, and I'm saying this real carefully so you understand me, people who practice witchcraft, sorcery, magic, all that type stuff, they have a lot of secrets revealed to them, but they still don't know the Almighty. They go in through the back door to get what they're getting. All of that comes from the Creator. He's the author of it all. But they go in through the back door to be able to perform these things that they learned, that they handed down. But they still don't have a relationship with the Almighty. You can fast and pray often, but this will not get you an audience with the Eternal. You can fast, you can pray, you can come up to show up to Shabbat service, and you still won't get an audience with the Almighty. Because what the Most High is looking for is not an outer appearance of righteousness, but an inner appearance of essence of righteousness. A light shall dwell within you. It's not until one is tested and one pass most of them, if not all of them, and still be standing on in the principles of truth, that one can begin the process of getting to know the Almighty. You can't even get close to knowing about the Creator until the Most High checks you out and see who you are, what you're made with, and how you're built. But he ain't checking you because he don't know. He's checking you so you can see yourself. And I'm going to tell you the secret to that. Why he checks you to see if you're worthy so that you can see yourself is so that if you can see that you're not worthy, you can do what you got to do to improve yourself to become worthy. Therefore, he gives you time and consideration to get yourself in a better position so he can utilize you. And the problem with a lot of our people today, a lot of them are not worthy, haven't been found worthy, and don't really want to be worthy because worthiness requires too much work on your behalf to maintain that position. Sin, living a sinful life is so much easier than living a righteous life, destined to serve the Creator for eternity. It's so much easier to be evil and wicked and live sinful life than it is to live a righteous life, because the sinful life is the majority of our society. The righteous life is a minority of a minority of a minority in our society. Therefore, it's easier for them to live in sin than it is for them to take hold to the things of righteousness and maintain it for any significant amount of time. If your test has come, which only afterwards you will know if you are being tested, you only know that afterwards. You don't know you're being tested while you're in the midst of the test, unless you have superior knowledge of the spiritual realm. But most oftentimes you do not know that you're being tested when your test is upon you. And if you're no longer being tested, then you have not known him. Because if you're no longer being tested, then that means you failed your test and you do not know the Creator. Because all along while you're serving him, you're being tested. The Most High always keeps up on those who he hold dear to him to make sure that their minds are still straight and to reveal to them what is required of them. Life is a test. When you go to your sister, she ain't been married in 30 years. She's 31 years old now, and she ain't been married. She's never been married. She's 31, but she ain't been married in 30 years since she became able to be married. She hasn't had a husband. You follow me? And everybody in the family is praying for her to have a husband. When the time comes that she gets a man, she meets a man, she courts a man, and now they're ready to get married, they have it on the Shabbat. And you've been waiting. This is your dear sister. She's beloved by you. She's after your own mind. That's your sister. And you've been waiting for her. Matter of fact, you hooked her up with her husband and you watched the relationship as they grew together. Now they want to get married. They get married on the Shabbat, and you know that a marriage shouldn't be taking place on the Shabbat. So you have a decision to make. Do I go to my sister's wedding, or do I keep the Shabbat holy? Do I go to my grandmother's funeral, or do I keep the Shabbat holy? You know, this was my buddy. I knew my buddy forever. And he's having a birthday party for his daughter, but it's on the Shabbat. So do I go in and pay my respects to my lifelong friend on the Shabbat, or do I keep the Shabbat holy? See, these types of tests will come into your life. You have to determine which way you're going to go. But once you make that decision, you either pass or fail in the eyesight of the Creator. And if you fail and you fail and you fail and you're constantly failing in the sight of the Almighty to pass these tests, why do you think, for one instance, that the Most High is going to introduce himself to you on that intimate level? He's not going to do that. A lot of people don't understand that the Most High don't need us, we need him. If you have failed the majority of your tests in your life, when you have failed them, your life will feel empty. Your purpose in life has become cloudy. Your confidence in the Most High's deliverance has been lost. When you are rushing toward the light, what looks good? There is no way to see the Most High. When you're rushing toward the light, when you're rushing toward it, you have no patience. You want it right now, here and now. I want it, I want it, I want it. When you're rushing toward the light, what looks good is the light. There is no way to see the Most High because your desires take over. And when your desires kick in and take over, you no longer see what's right before you. You don't see the negative of the thing that you're desiring. It becomes invisible to you because your desires take over. And often when we desire something, we do not see its imperfections or its filth. We become blinded, and all we see is the beauty of that thing. That's all we see. That's all we know. Is the beauty of that thing that we desire most. When it's right before us, the only thing we can see is the goodness in it. You can't see the uncleanness or the filth within it. And that's with most people. With most people, it's that way. You can't see the uncleanness in a thing when you have set your desires on a thing. Somebody in your circle, somebody around you, they may be able to see it, but you can't. You can't see it. You can't behold it. Let's get started. Sister TT, are you present?
King.
We're in 1 Samuel chapter 4, verse 1.
Hallelujah. So the troops sent men to Shiloh. There Eli's two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, were in charge of the Ark of the Covenant of Ha Elohim, and they brought down from there the Ark of the Covenant, Yehovah of hosts, enthroned on the cherubim.
All right,
When
hold
the Ark,
on a second. Is that 1 Samuel chapter 4?
yes,
Verse 1.
verse 1.
And what's the first sentence says?
As mine reads, it says, so the troops sent men to Shiloh. There Eli's two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, were in charge of the Ark of the Covenant of Ha Elohim. And they brought down from there the Ark of the Covenant of Yehovah of hosts enthroned on the cherubim. Am I in the right place?
I don't see any of the stuff that you're reading.
She's reading, well, in my book, that's verse 4. So her book, you might have to go to verse 3, Ima, and read from the
And the
third.
word of Samuel came to Israel.
Came. When the Israelite troops returned to the camp, is that where you're reading from? Verse 3?
My 4:1 says, and the word of Samuel came to all Israel. Now Israel sent out to battle against the Philistines.
Oh.
Yours don't say that? And they encamped Ebenezer.
I'm at, well, mine read at chapter 4, verse 1. That's where mine begin.
Try chapter 3.
Okay, chapter 3.
What's the last part of chapter 3 for you? Verse 19.
The last part of chapter 3.
Verse 19. Start there.
Okay. Salika. The last chapter for mine is chapter 18. And it says, Shemuel then told everything, withholding nothing from him. And Eli said, he is Yehovah. He will do what he deems right.
Keep reading.
And then chapter 19, Shemuel grew up and Yehovah was with him. He did not leave any of Shemuel's predictions unfulfilled. Chapter 20, verse 20, all Yisrael from Dan to Beersheba knew what Shemuel was trustworthy as a prophet of Yehovah. And Yehovah continued to appear at Shiloh. Yehovah revealed himself to Shemuel at Shiloh with the word of Yehovah. And Shemuel's word went forth to all Yisrael.
There you go. Keep reading. Now we're in 4.
Okay, came. Yisrael marched out to engage the Philistines in battle. They encamped near Ebenezer, where the Philistines encamped at Aphek. The Philistines arrayed themselves against Yisrael, and when the battle was fought, Yisrael was routed by the Philistines, who slew about 40,000 men on the field of battle.
Yisrael was defeated. The Philistines kicked our butts. Do y'all understand that?
Came.
The Philistines drew up a line against Yisrael, and when the battle spread, Yisrael was defeated before the Philistines. And they killed about 4,000 men on the field in that battle. So 4,000 of us died. It was time for us to regroup. So let's see what takes place. Read on, please.
Verse 3. When the Israelite troops, Salika, returned to the camp, the elders of Israel asked, why did Yehovah put us to rout today before the Philistines?
Why did I allow us to be defeated before the Philistines? That ain't supposed to happen. Read on, please.
Let us fetch the ark of the covenant of Yehovah from Shiloh. Thus he will present among us and will deliver us from the hands of our enemies. So the troops sent men to Shiloh. There Eli's 2 sons, Hophni and Phinehas, were in charge of the ark of the covenant of Ha Elohim. And they brought down from there the ark of the covenant of Yehovah of hosts, enthroned on the cherubim. When the ark of the covenant of Yehovah entered the camp, all Yisrael burst into a great shout, so that the earth resounded.
When the Most High's covenant, when his ark came within the camp, everybody got enraged. Everybody was excited. Everybody was thrilled to see this happening. You know, it empowered the people. It gave them energy, and it's going to put fear in the Philistines. But yet, the Most High is not finished dealing with Israel yet, because Israel's still dealing in wickedness. Israel's still practicing idolatry. Israel's still doing all types of things that Israel wishes. Plus, they still got those wicked men ruling over them, Hophni and Phinehas. Read on, please.
The Philistines heard the noise of the shouting, and they wondered, Why is there such a loud shouting in the camp of the Hebrews? And when they learned that the ark of Jehovah had come to the camp, the Philistines were frightened. For they said, Ha Elohim has come to the camp. And they cried, Woe to us! Nothing like this has ever happened before. Woe to us! Who will save us from the power of this mighty Ha Elohim? He is the same Ha Elohim who struck the Egyptians with every kind of plague in the wilderness.
See, the fame of the Most High went out. They knew of the fame of the Most High. Read on, please. And they were afraid at the fame of the Most High because they heard what the Most High did to the Egyptians, the enemies of Israel. So what they do, I got to give them a little bit of round of applause, because although they was fighting a battle against the Creator that they knew and they were afraid, they regrouped. They dug deeper and they fought harder. So with the Most High on the scene now with the Ark of the Covenant, they don't know that the Most High is going to let his people get beat up because the people are wicked. They don't know that, but they know that they got the Ark of the Covenant now, so they know that the Most High is with them. So now they're going to fight harder than they ever fought before to try to overcome. And watch what takes place. Read on.
Brace yourselves and be men, O Philistines, or you will become slaves to the Hebrews as they were slaves to you. Be men and fight. The Philistines fought Israel and was routed, and they all fled to their homes. The defeat was very great. 30,000 foot soldiers of Israel fell there.
Before it was like 3,000 or 4,000. Now, in the second wave of the battle, 30,000 men of Israel died. And what else? What else happened? See, the Most High allowed these things to happen sometime in your life to give you a message. Sometimes the Most High allow you to get beat down, struck, stepped on, so that his perfect will could be done and you can return back to him in righteousness and truth. But remember how this story started. The Most High started off with a mission. And now 40, 50 years later, his mission is about to come into fruition. He raised Samuel up in that house to take the place of Eli, but yet Eli was still there. Samuel now is a prophet, a full-fledged prophet, and all the men of the city knew Samuel was a prophet of the Almighty. So what they had to do now, well, what the Creator had to do now was make that transition. So now he got to take Eli and his sons out, as he promised 40 years ago. He got to take them out and remove them all in the same day. And the Most High is going to make that happen. But I want to point out the simple fact that it took the Creator all them years to fulfill the covenant that he made with Eli through the man of Elohim, Gabriel. Gabriel means man of Elohim. It took 40 years. So how many years did you say you was praying for a husband? How many years did you say you was praying for a wife? How many years was you praying for some money, some wealth? If you ever noticed, when you was praying for that wealth, a whole lot of other blessings came in your life, but you ain't get all that wealth that you was praying for yet, did you? But a whole lot of other blessings came in your life, and it's because the Most High is not ready to give you that until you've earned that, until he fashioned your mind and conditioned you so that when he does give you that, you won't waste that. You will know how to be good to that. You will know how to treat that. Same thing with a husband and wife. When you ask the Almighty for a wife, you ask the Most High for a husband, he takes his time. He's purifying you, making you ready. But if you feel like I can't wait no longer and you go out and get one for yourself, it should soon meet destruction. Because the Most High's plan is a perfect plan. It may take a little longer for you, but that's all based on how much you have changed from the person you were to the person he needs you to be so that you can receive his gift and take good care of the gift that he has for you. I need y'all to understand that. I need y'all to understand that. We don't want to be patient when we're asking the Creator for something. Well, the Most High just gave a prophecy, and it took almost 40, 50 years for him to bring about that prophecy. And right now, we're seeing that prophecy foretold and coming true. Read on, sis. Let's see what we got.
We're in Shemuel, chapter 4, the middle of verse 10. The defeat was very great. 30,000 soldiers of Israel fell there. The ark of Ha-Elohim was captured, and Eli's 2 sons, Hophni and Phinehas, were slain.
So Eli's 2 sons dead. Was that prophecy? The Most High prophesied that both his sons would die in the same day, and they did. They both died in the battle on the same day. Now, let's see what happened to Eli, how he receives this news. Read on, please.
Salika, verse 12. A Benjamite ran from the battlefield and reached Shiloh the same day. His clothes were rent, and there was earth on his head. When he arrived, he found Eli sitting on a seat, waiting beside the road, his heart trembling for the ark of Ha-Elohim.
Eli ain't worried about his sons. Eli ain't thinking about his sons. You know why he ain't worried or thinking about his sons? Because his sons, over 40 years, his sons have been in battle plenty of times. And he got accustomed to his children coming home. Think about it, family. When the Most High gave that prophecy 40 years ago, Eli probably was on eggshells waiting for his sons to die. The Most High didn't want to give it to him then. He probably was expecting his children to die in one of these battles. But y'all know how we are. The more we do something, the more comfortable we get with it, and we don't expect the worst no more. Just like driving. When you first got yourself behind the wheel of a car, you was extra careful. You probably wore your seatbelt. You probably had a head pad and all type of stuff because you didn't know what was going to happen. You was real careful. But every day you took that car out, you got a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more comfortable with every day. So when the whole year has passed by, now you're driving down the street chilling, listening to your music, texting while you're on the phone, bumping to the sounds, bumping, and then smash. So think about that. The Most High said, this is what I'm going to do. And while he was building up Samuel, it took him about 40, 50 years. And then that one day when Eli wasn't even thinking about his sons, wasn't even paying attention, worrying about the outcome of his sons making it home. When that day came, the Most High rubbed them out. Both of them at the same time. Prophecy was being fulfilled. And Eli knew once he heard that both his sons died, he knew it was coming for him. Eli was 90, I believe 93 years old at the time. Read on, sis, please.
Cain. The man entered the city to spread the news, and the whole city broke out in a cry. And when Eli heard the sound of the outcry and asked, "What is the meaning of this uproar?" the man rushed over to Eli to tell Eli. Now Eli was 98 years old.
Excuse me. He wasn't 93, he was 98. 98 years old. Read on, sis, please.
His eyes were fixed in a blind stare. The man said to Eli, "I am the one who came from the battlefield. I have just fled from the battlefield." Eli asked, "What happened to my son?" The bearer of news replied, "Yisrael fled before the Philistines. And the troop also suffered a great slaughter. Your 2 sons, Hophni and Phinehas, are dead."
They're dead. They're dead. Don't water it down, sis. Your sons and Hophni and Phinehas are dead. No, they ain't dead. They're dead. They're dead. As the Most High prophesied it would happen. The both of them would die on the same day because you didn't properly raise your children, because you had no discipline in the lives of your children. You let your children have their way and do what they wanted. Spoil the rod, spare the rod, spoil the child, and they were definitely spoiled. Read on, please.
And the ark of Ha-Elohim has been captured. When he mentioned the ark of Ha-Elohim, Eli fell backward off the seat beside the gate, broke his neck and died, for he was an old man and heavy. He had been a chieftain of Israel for 40 years.
So let's back up, fam. Let's back up. This is deep. It's so much in this lesson. First of all, the man was fat. The man was fat. So him being a leader and he's fat, that's a poor example for the people. Now, let's be real. That's a poor. Well, Prince, why are you talking about the man weight? A man disciplined and in order ain't going to be fat. So this shows you the decline in Eli over that 40-year period. I bet you when he started out, he was running around the block, doing sit-ups, push-ups, exercising. He was doing a whole bunch. And I bet you he got spoiled being in that position. And that's why the Most High called him and his sons evil. That's probably why his sons weren't paying him no mind. Because he raised them with a spoiled hand. Gave them what they want. Anything they desired, they had. And when they became leaders, they also took advantage of the people because they was accustomed to getting from their fathers. Come on now. When you got a leader in position, and that leader, if he's fat, something wrong with that leadership. And I'm going to tell you, I don't care what you say. It's the reality of life. Ain't no leader, no spiritual leader in Israel going to teach you the way, and he don't even know the way. How are he going to teach you how to live a disciplined life, and he not disciplining at the kitchen table? How are you going to teach you how to be obedient to the Creator when he ain't even obedient to the Almighty? Ain't no leader got no business being fat. Some of the people, the parishioners, you can make an excuse for because they ain't got to be responsible like leadership. Leadership sit at a totally different level. Their lives should be an open book. They should be almost perfect to the best of their ability, walking in this life, leading and guiding the most sacred thing on the planet, and that's the children of Israel. If you got a fat man in position of leadership, it ain't that he can't be a great instructor of men, because he could be. But he's a poor example because the first principle he doesn't have under control, and that's self-discipline. You have to be able to master yourself. Your desires, your willpower, and everything about you has to be in order for you to sit in a position of leadership. You should have very few weaknesses, if any. I would prefer you don't have none. That way, it's harder for you to fall victim to the tricks of the adversary. But this man was fat, and the Most High took him out on account of his fatness. How did he take him out? The chair he was leaning on, he was too heavy for, and the chain fell over backwards. Couldn't support his weight. Bang! Broke his neck. It's sad. You could give a pass to one of the people in the audience. You could give them a pass, but they shouldn't be fat either. But you could give them a pass a little bit because they're not sitting in a position of leading and instructing and guiding the Most High's people. How you going to have a spiritual leader and he's an alcoholic? That's a weakness. That's a severe weakness. People get mad at me when I say stuff like that. You know, you got a spiritual leader and he's an alcoholic. You got a spiritual leader and all he do is drink weed, smoke weed all the time. How? And anybody walking with such a person is a weaker vessel of a person. They're really desperate for somebody to lead them. That's a shame. You shouldn't be that way. How you got a spiritual leader and every night he out getting a different woman off from the street and from around the corner at the clubs and whoever he could meet to go lay with? How are he a spiritual leader? What is he spiritually leading you toward? What kind of an example is he? And then stand up on the SHABOT on the podium and speak all these fabulous things. He's a fraud. Your spiritual leader should be everything that you're afraid to be. You should look at your spiritual leader and say, I have a lot of respect for him. Why? Because he makes the sacrifices that I don't even think I want to make. That's how you're supposed to see your spiritual leader. Your spiritual leader shouldn't have a wife and he's hiding her, or a girlfriend on the side that he got to hide. That's not a good example of a spiritual leader. Come on now. We got to start holding these people to the test. Seriously. Some spiritual leaders still eat pork. Oh, I only eat pork bacon though, man. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. That's one vice I got. I only eat pork bacon. If he will eat pork bacon, knowing that the law says you should not do it, there's nothing else that he won't do. It's just a matter of time before the Most High lifts up his skirt and show you who he really is. No spiritual leader in Israel has any business being fat. He might be a little overweight. He might be, thick. But fat, that's something else. Obese, that's something else. And he was an old obese man. All that weight made his old age even harder. Come on, y'all. Wake up. And this man, who was old and fat, was leading the children of Israel. That's why they got beat up. Because he couldn't call them on nothing because he was too old, too fat, and he had 2 wicked sons. Leadership was totally out of order. But he led the people for 40 years. That's how Israel are. Israel will let fools lead them. Men who are not worthy, who not earned their respects, they will let them lead them. Hophni and Phinehas was abusing the people all them years, and the people did nothing about it. A lot of the reason why they didn't do anything because they respected the Most High, but these people wasn't respecting the Most High. Hophni, Phinehas, Eli, they wasn't respecting the Most High. And that's sad. That's why we got our butts kicked. Because the Most High said, it's time for my prophecy to be fulfilled. I'm going to set them up like this. And that's exactly what he did. He set them up. Both Hophni and Phinehas died. And this old blind man, he probably blind because he had diabetes. You know what diabetes do to you? It blinds you. Diabetes can make you blind. He was so big, he probably had diabetes, and that's probably what caused his blindness. If he would have lost some weight, he probably could have seen. He probably wouldn't have been blind. Now, I can only say what I believe, what I understand, but it's a fact. Couldn't hardly move. So he had to sit at the gate. And when he fell over backwards from his seat by the side of the gate, and his neck was broken, and he died. For the man was old and heavy and blind, and he had judged Israel for 40 years. It's sad. How could he lead the people and he's physically out of shape, which means he's mentally out of shape? If you're physically out of shape, chances of you having a strong mind is less than none. You don't have a strong mind because you wasn't disciplined enough to tell yourself to turn down the plate. And it's just that simple. We can't just read past that like it didn't mean nothing. Everything in the scriptures is called a book of remembrance so that you will learn from the past of our people. That man was overweight, didn't have no business being a leader of Israel. The high priest. He had no business being in that position. And the Most High knew it, and the Most High moved him out. His life was on a decline for over 40 years. He was suffering for over 40 years until that day when the Most High said, enough is enough. Now watch this. Read on, sis, please.
Hallelujah. We're in Shemuel, chapter 4, verse 19. His daughter-in-law, the wife of Phinehas, was with child, about to give birth. When she heard the report that the ark of Ha Elohim was captured, and that her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she seized with labor pains, and she crouched down and gave birth. As she lay dying, The woman attending her said, "Do not be afraid, for you have borne a son." But she did not respond or pay heed. She named the boy Ichabod, meaning the glory has departed from Yisrael, referring to the capture of the Ark of Ha Elohim and to the death of her father-in-law and her husband. The glory is gone from Yisrael, she said, for the Ark of Ha Elohim has been captured.
All four things happened in one day. The death, the ark. The ark was symbolically meaning that the Creator is with us. That ark. It symbolically showed us that the Most High was with us. Well, it was no longer with us. The ark went to the Philistines. So the children of Israel was devastated. They cried over that ark because to them that was symbolic that the Almighty was with them. So the Most High was showing them that I no longer have favor in you because you let a man rule over you so long that wasn't worthy. This man taught them all types of negativity. He wasn't worthy. When he first started off, right, he told Hannah, have that baby. It's in your womb. And guess what? Hannah had a baby. When he first started off, see, that's how it always is. When you first get into your position of a power of authority, you doing great. He came back to Hannah a few years later. He said, go to Elkanah. Go, be it thy will. Have some more children. And they went back. Hannah started having more children, had 3 or 4 more children. And from that day forward, he'd been going backwards and slowly declining from his seat of authority with the Almighty. How many of us are in that position today where we feel the Spirit of the Almighty backing away from us? Where we feel the presence of righteousness backing away from us. Oftentimes that happens because you don't know the Creator. You don't know him. You haven't been introduced to him. You're familiar with his works, but you don't know him. That's like somebody on your job that works in the next bin, 2 bins down. They'll see you come to work. And after they do their portion, after you do your portion, they get your leftovers from what you did, and then they got to add to what you did. So they're familiar with your work, but they don't know you. They haven't taken the time to properly introduce themselves to you, spend some time with you, get to know how you live, what you expect, what you like, what you do, what causes you to act a certain way. They know absolutely nothing about you, just like you don't know nothing about the Almighty. But yet you've been walking this walk as an Israelite for 40 and 50 years. It's so bad that the Most High is saying to us, come on, I want to take y'all home, but we can't leave the idols alone. The Most High is saying, come on, y'all, I want to redeem y'all from captivity, but we can't leave the idols alone. The Greek God got us captive in our minds. The Islamic God got us captives in our minds. We can't seem to shake it loose no matter which way we turn. We can't, it's an emotional thing. Because we feel it emotionally. We'll see the scriptures where it says, thou shalt have no power except the Most High. There is none beside me, not one. But emotionally, it says something else to us. Emotionally, we can't let it go because we're giving the Most High's glory to our lovers. We're giving the Most High praise to our lovers. Our people went out in the streets and worshiped Tammuz. The Most High is saying, come on, Israel, I want to take you up out of the land of your captivity. I want to take you home. But what are we saying? We say, oh, no, we in love. We don't want to go unless we can take them with us. And the Most High is saying, no, thou shalt have no other power. Shema Yisrael, Yotzeh Eloheinu, Yoseh Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Most High, your power, the Most High is one. But we want to bring everything and everybody else with us as we go worship the Almighty. And the Most High has a problem with that. You know why? You know why the Most High have a problem with that? because the Most High is a jealous power. And a lot of us don't see that. A lot of us don't begin to know that. We walked away. For many years, we used to be practicing Christianity. Y'all remember we used to be Christians? Yeah, why y'all acting like y'all don't remember? I know I used to be, so I'll speak for myself. I used to be Christian many years ago. My mama, she carried me around all these Christian places, Jehovah's Witnesses and everything. She carried me around, and I learned to worship the Christian deity, but I always had an issue with it, even in my ignorance. I was like, wow, how? Prove it. So I began to ask the Creator, is this you? Are you this person that they say you are? So when I got a little bit of wisdom and I left the Christian deity, left the Christian church, I brought the Christian deity with me. He had to fit somewhere in my life because he was in my heart. He was in my mind. He was in my mind. He was in my heart. And I didn't know no better. So I had to bring the Christian deity with me. And that's what I did. And I made it fit. So no matter what anybody told me, I could go to the scriptures and justify why I brought that transition. But let me ask you a question, family. And I'm going to ask you a serious question. Creator forbid, but if you took a wife and she was once married to a husband and that husband divorced her and yet you still decide you want to take that wife, that husband wants her back, that husband comes back into her life, do you take the wife and the husband or do you just take the wife? She can't let him go though. She don't want to let him go. She wants to be married to him and she wants to be married to you too. What do? Do you take the wife or do you let her stay with her husband? Because that's the dilemma that we give to the Most High right now in this captivity. The Most High is saying, come on, Israel, I know you had all these different things that you were doing. You practice Islam, you practice Hinduism, some of you worshiping Satan. But I want y'all to know that I want y'all back. I will forgive y'all for all of that. But we saying, okay, Creator, we ready. We want to go back to you. But if we go, we got to bring these things with us. The Most High don't want that. The Most High don't like that. That's not where the Most High is. That's not what he does. And you wouldn't stand for it yourself. So why would you expect the Most High to stand for it? You wouldn't take that woman and she still got all those attachments to her old man, to her first lover. That's what it is. Because that was my first lover. When I walked that walk, my family tried to introduce me to Islam. Majority of the men in my family were all Muslim. Oh man, I just thought about this, family. Almost all the men in my family are dead. Damn. Oh man. I got one uncle left. Uncle Rahim. And he like 69, 70 years old. And he still rock with me. After Uncle Rahim, I'm the oldest living male relative in this side of my family. I just thought about that. All the Muslims in my family all are gone now. Oh, I got a couple of cousins that's still Muslim, younger than me. But Islam is predominantly within my household, within my family. I was never Muslim. They've never even tried to convert me. They wanted to just have me grafted in because this is the way they raised me. But I never accepted those ways of life. My mama had me, took me to church. She dragged me in, and that's what I accepted, Christianity. But I had to turn my back on all those things. And I had to gravitate toward the Almighty, El Shaddai, El Elyon, El Rakon, Hayotzer, the creator of all creation. I gravitated toward him. And all those idols, all those images, all those things they try to say was equal to him, I had to leave alone. And you might not be as strong as me. Your battle is different. You may have not learned your lesson in this process. I have. I'm past that right now. Satan, the adversary, he wouldn't test me like he'll test you. He'll come with a different test for me because he knows I'm not going to fall for that. Just like if you got two men, one man a homosexual, one man straight. Well, the homosexual man is trying to get out of homosexuality, and the straight man is only thinking about sex and women. So the straight man is not going to get tested with homosexuality. The homosexual that's trying to get out of homosexuality is going to get tested with another man. That ain't going to be the straight man test. The adversary knows what you desire. He knows what your weaknesses is. But the moment you stand up to him and say no more, then he loses. Remember, sin lieth at the door, but you can rule over him. That's what we got to remember, family. The Almighty said we can rule over sin. May the Most High be praised. Boy, that's, you just gave me a real reality that all the males in my life, and I had a bunch of uncles, and right now they're all gone. And that's sad. And after Uncle Raheem, I'm the next in line. I never thought about that till just now. Whew. Means I got a lot of work to do. Read on, Sister TT. Let's go.
Hallelujah. We're in Shemuel, chapter 5, verse 1. When the Philistines captured the ark of Ha Elohim, they brought it from Ebenezer to Ashdod. The Philistines took the ark of Ha Elohim and brought it into the temple of Dagon. And they said,
Dagon was the name of their deity. Dagon. He was a deity of the Philistines. Read on, please.
And they set it up beside Dagon. Early the next day, the Ashdodites.
Hold up. Let me clear it up so they understand. They took the Ark of the Covenant and took it in the house of their deity. Oh, the Most High, he ain't going to share no space with nobody, not even in your heart. Not even in your heart is he going to share space. So they took the Ark of the Covenant and put it in the house of their deity, Dagon, and put it right next to Dagon. This was a trophy for them. Look what we accomplished. We defeated the children of Israel and we captured their gods. They had a plural, they had an S on it. We captured their gods. And now we're going to take them and put them in a house of worship with our gods, like a lot of us. We want to bond partners with the Almighty, as if the Almighty has partners and he has no partners. A lot of us do not know the Creator. So many of us, we only think we know the Almighty, but we don't. And then when somebody come and try to tell us who the Most High is, what he requires, and what we have to do to earn the respect of him, we say, oh, no, it can't possibly be that. That is too difficult. My God is an all-loving God. He loves everybody. He wouldn't do that. Well, he wouldn't kill the children with the parents. He would never do such a thing. That shows me you don't know the Creator. Because there's been times when the Most High said, rub them all out. The young, the old, the innocent, if they're of that people, rub them all out. You know why? Because if you don't rub them all out, they're going to come back and kill you. That's why. The Most High is not a female. He's not a woman. He's not emotional. He don't care about your age, your sex, your height, your weight. He only cares about you being righteous. And if there's a righteous one among you, he will grant them salvation, just like he did with Rahab. He gave her salvation. She was a harlot, a prostitute in the city of Jerusalem, Jubas, when they went in to sack the city. The Jebusites. When they went in to sack the city, Rahab was the one who helped the children of Israel. So she redeemed herself by doing something good for the children of Israel. She hid them when the people in the city were searching after them. She hid them in the top of a house, in the loft, covered them up, and preserved their lives. And for that, the Most High rewarded her. So what I'm saying is, even if the Most High says, kill everybody in the city, if there's some righteous there, the Most High is going to spare them. So while you're going in and act, because they was going to kill her, And all the people was around her. Rahab said, well, listen, please, if you save my life, can you save the life of my family too? And all of them was protected because of her doings. The same thing today. All you got to do is live a righteous life when it comes down to it. Ask the Most High for forgiveness and mercy. But the most important thing is change from your evil ways. Change from your wicked, evil, selfish, rotten ways. And I'm going to tell you, don't let your heart be your guide, because the Most High says in the scriptures that the heart is deceitful among all things. Who could know it? The heart is exceptionally wicked among all things. Who could know the heart? No one. Don't trust your heart. Don't go with your emotions is what that's trying to say. Don't lean on your emotions and make a decision based on how you feel. Base it on what you know is a fact, what the Most High has said. Go ahead, sis. I ain't mean to hold you up. I just had to break it down a little bit because we about to show something. They put the Ark of the Covenant next to Dagon, their deity. And if I'm not mistaken, Dagon was a fish. I believe Dagon was a statue in the image of a fish. Read on, please, and let's see.
Cain, we're in Shemuel chapter 5, verse 3.
You see
Early the next.
Hold up. Let me mess a little bit. You see how she did it? She said, we in Shemuel chapter 5, verse 3. Go ahead, sis. You got to go. No. Go ahead. Get it, girl. Let's
Cain. Early the next day, the Ashdodites found Dagon lying face down on the ground in front of the Ark of Ha Elohim.
Did you see what happened? The Most High said, all shall bow down before me. Bang! And a statue that wasn't even alive miraculously moved from his place and bowed down himself on the ground. He don't have no partners. He won't take no partners. And if you think you're going to tie partners with this king, you're mistaken. They had to bow down to this king. He ain't taking no second seat to nobody. This king is awesome, full of fire and rage when you try to bind partners with him. Most High ain't no joke. Read on, please.
Hallelujah. They picked Dagon up and put him back in his place. But early the next morning, Dagon again was lying prone on the ground in front of the Ark of Ha Elohim.
Hold up. What just happened? They picked Dagon up. You know how many people it took to pick up a statue? They picked Dagon up and put him back where he was. They said, hey, how he get down here? Let's pick him up, put him back where he was. And they put him right back. And the Most High was patiently waiting. And when everybody was gone, Dagon was back on the floor, prostrating the Creator. This time he had his hands cut off, I believe. Let's read and let's see. How did he do it?
Cain, the head and both hands of Dagon were cut off, lying on the threshold.
Hold up, sis. You're moving too fast. So read that again. What happened to Dagon? What happened when you try to bind partners with the Almighty? What happened?
The head and both hands of Dagon were cut off, lying on the threshold.
The Creator ain't no joke. He ain't no joke. What'd he do? He cut off his head. Sling. And both of his hands. Sling. Both of them. Most High ain't playing, y'all. Come on now. This king allowed himself to be taken to do what? To show forth his glory. This king ain't no joke. If that wasn't enough for the Philistines and the inhabitants of Ashdod to see, to now begin to worship the Creator, nothing else would be. Now, how much is it going to take for you to leave your idols alone? How much is it going to take for you to worship the Most High and the Most High alone? What do you have to see? Read on, please.
Only Dagon's trunk was left intact.
Trunk. Read on.
That is why to this day, the priests of Dagon and all who enter the temple of Dagon do not tread on the threshold of Dagon and Ashdod.
Wow.
Verse 6.
Hold up, y'all. This Creator is awesome. Awesome. We do not know this king. Many of us don't. The majority of us don't. We're familiar with what he does. And like we read today, we can read about his power, but we playing. If we really want to go home, let's leave all this foolishness alone and let's get on our P's and Q's and serve the Most High to the best of our ability. Do the things that you hear in these lessons. Begin to implement these things in your life and watch the change take place in your life. First, it's going to seem like you're putting yourself through hell. But you know why? Because you're emotionally attached to your deities. You are emotionally attached to them. You know what that means? That means you got feminine traits. That means you got feminine behavior because men remove themselves from their emotion. They deal with logic and reason. So let's look. If we carefully deal with this logic and reason and what is written versus what we believe, we'll see that there is no place for anyone but the Almighty. That's what we'll see. You know, when I used to go to church, I learned that church, well, I didn't learn it after I got out of it, but this is what I learned. Church is a religion that plays on your emotions. They play with your emotions and they cloud your better judgment because of your emotional standings. And a lot of males are still stuck in the emotional state. Therefore, they leave Christianity, but they take the Christian deity, the Greek deity, right along with them into their service of the Almighty. Most High don't like that. The Most High don't want that. It's just like the statue, Dagon. You're going to try to say something is equal to or just like or is the Almighty. And the Most High is one. He has no partners. He's one. It's just that simple. You don't know the Most High. They don't know the Creator. They don't. Because if they truly did it, even if they really wanted to know him, the best thing they can do is leave alone everything they've been taught and start from scratch. Genesis 1:1. Stop praying in the name of all these powers, all these deities. Stop praying in their name and pray to the Almighty and the Almighty alone. And let him guide you. Let him teach you. Let him instruct you. And see where he takes you. This is what happened to me that I want to share with you all. And I mean this sincerely, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way for anybody who has a different point of view than I. When I was a Christian, I cried out to the Creator for help because there was a whole lot of things going on about who the Creator was. I didn't know the Most High. I didn't know him. I thought I knew him, but I didn't. And I went to my pastor one day. His name was Pastor Smith. He was in Deliverance Evangelistic Church on, it used to be on Broad Street in Philadelphia, and then it moved to Lehigh Avenue. So before Pastor died, I went to him and I sat and I talked with him. He had a big church, real big church. And I asked him, one of my first questions was, is Jesus and God one? I asked him that because I really wanted to know. That was my question. And I was a young man and I needed to know that question. And my pastor said, yes. He said, Jesus and God is one. He says, do you know how, and this was his words verbatim, you know how you get an egg and you got the shell, you got the yolk, and then you got the, what's the white stuff called? I forget what the white stuff is called.
Albumin.
The what?
Albumin.
He ain't saying no albumin. He ain't gave me no word like that. Different word.
Well, it's albumin.
Okay, it's you, albumin. If he had said albumin, I'd say the what? The albumin. He said, you see how these three constitute to make up one egg? He said, that's how Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit are all one. But I just wasn't feeling that. And I left. It was cool. It was all right. So I left. That started my journey on trying to learn about the Almighty. And at this time, I might have been 20-something years old. So was that like 15 years ago, something like that? 15, 21, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that. Y'all believe that? I got a bridge to sell you. But I was in my 20s, I believe, at the time. Might have been a little bit younger. And I got locked up and I went to jail. This was my first time behind the bars. I went behind the bars for a little while. It was a very little period of time, maybe 6 months. I was into a whole totally different life than I'm in now. I was a gangster. I was a gangster. Really a gangster. But I'm not a gangster no more. A gangster for the Almighty now. But I was a bad boy in those days. Bad guy. I did a lot of bad things. I did a lot of things that I wish never happened, but they happened. They made me who I am, and I'm grateful to be here. Believe me. So when I was incarcerated, I read the entire Bible from cover to cover. This is me coming out of making that transition out of my gangster life into the life that I live now. This was the beginning of that knowledge. Yeah. So I read the Bible from cover to cover. Remember, I went in with a Christian mindset. And when I was in jail and I read the Bible from cover to cover, I began to see things in the New Testament that I didn't know was there. Because that was the first time that I ever sat down and read the entire book, especially the entire New Testament. So that began to mold and shape my mind and take me in a different direction. I had other books. I had the Gospel of Barnabas. I had Every Man's Talmud. I had a Tanakh, a Torah, not a Tanakh, a Torah. And then I had the regular Bible with the Old and New Testament in it. And I read these books and I read them feverishly. I was locked in my cell the majority of the day. So all I had time to do was read, study, pray, cry, read, study, pray, cry. That's all I did. And during that study, I met some people because they used to give you time out on the block. And we used to have a little Bible study. And I met this guy who, the first man that I knew about Black Hebrews. And the funny thing about it is during those days, everything I tell you, you already know is the truth, because I ain't gonna lie to you. But everything I tell you is this. Back in those days, I used to drive a 5.0 GT Mustang, convertible top, drop top joint, white. Still got it, sitting behind my house right now. Still got it. And that on the front of my car, I had those little black plates, little black and white plates. And on the front of my plate, it said Black Jew. I knew nothing about the children of Israel, but I renamed myself Black Jew. I called myself Black Jew for financial reasons. I didn't know that that's who I was. Had no idea. Didn't know nothing about it. So I started going to Bible studies with these guys when they let us out of our cell. We had a little Bible study class. And this one guy came in who was a Black Jew, as he identified himself. And his name was Hezekiah. Hezekiah wasn't anybody to want to be like, because Hezekiah was a woman abuser. He was a horrible dude in so many ways. But yet, he was the first one that I heard use the term Black Jew. So that began my studies and my quest. But when I got out of incarceration, I didn't give up. I still searched out the Most High, but I still had that other deity in my mind, the Greek deity. But I had to find out where he fit in the whole process of this. So when I asked the Creator, was he the Creator? The answer I got back was no. And then when I asked the Creator, was he a prophet? I never got a no. So in my mind, I felt like he was a prophet. And that's how I did it for many years. And then I sat down with a man. I was introduced to a Hebrew Israelite community, and their name was Beth-Hetzabah, which wasn't the first community, but it was one of the communities. His name was the name of the place was Beth-Hetzabah, and there was an elder there called Elder Ezra. Elder Ezra, during a lunchtime, would sit me in the truck and debate with me over these different things that I believed about this deity. And that went on for a good year or so. And then eventually, slowly but surely, I got over my emotional stage and I got more into the spiritual essence of the Creator's law and what was written and all those things. And I let that part of my life go. And I was reborn into the understanding that there is none that we are to put close to, next to, into the Almighty. The Most High was one. But in all truthfulness, it was still hard for me to completely let these things go. One of the problems that I had, that I know probably a lot of you might have, is when you close your eyes. At this time, it was God. When you close your eyes and you say God, what do you see? You see that white image that they taught us was God. That white image is the image that comes into your mind, and then you have to force yourself to see a colored image or something black or nothing at all. You have to force yourself to that. Now, what that taught me was that I was being programmed. In my subconscious mind, I was being programmed that this is what the Creator was, a white man. So a lot of Israelites that I knew, what they did was they came up, they raised up, they got away from Christianity, but yet they still just changed the name of the deity that came from the Christian God, the Christian deity. They just changed the name and brought that along with them into their form of worship in the house of the Most High. If that works for them, so be it. I'm not here to judge. I'm only telling my story. This is what happened to me in my life that had me and got me where I am today. A lot of people have similar stories. A lot of people have opposing stories. That's fine. I know some Israelites who worship the Almighty and nothing else and used to talk bad about the Christian deity, about the Greek deity. And then 15 years later, they worship in the Christian deity. So I know how that thing can go. I know how it can go. It can go either way. But I believe that if a man is true to the Almighty, the Most High will have his way with you. But you have to be true to the Almighty. And this is why so many of us don't know the Almighty, because we're not true to the Almighty. It's a convenience to us how we worship him. When that sacrifice got to be made for your pleasures, you give in to your pleasures over that sacrifice of keeping the Creator's laws. That's a difference. And in order to be in tune with the Almighty, your pleasures have to take second or third row to what the Most High says must be done. And that's where we draw the line. The Most High is not sharing his position with anyone. He's not. But it's up to us to take that realization. So all along, while we're sitting here saying we want to go back to the promised land, can somebody in the audience just tell me why we got kicked out of the Holy Land in the first place? Can anybody in the audience tell me why we got kicked out of the Holy Land in the first place? Why did the Creator kick us out? Anybody can tell me. If anybody on the panel know, speak it, please. If anybody in the audience know, type it. Why did we get kicked out of the Holy Land? The original time when the Most High kicked us out, why did he kick us out?
Disobeying his laws, such as commandments.
And what was the law and statute and commandment that the Most High held above everything else?
To not no idolatry.
No idolatry. Absolutely right. Sister Saadia. Sister Shivanya are absolutely right. Queen Fatima, absolutely right. We got kicked out for idolatry. So if you got a 10-year-old son and you find your 10-year-old son having inappropriate actions with a young man, and you take him home and you knock him upside his head, and then you put him on punishment, when does his punishment end? Anybody? When does your punishment, she said never. When does his punishment end? Or when would you give him a chance to show you that it ended? First thing is, he got to stop doing what he was doing. And he has to remove that out of his spirit before you can give him an opportunity to show you that he's not that way. Well, we got kicked out of the land for idolatry. How many of us collectively have shown the Creator that we don't want to commit idolatry anymore? So therefore, your punishment shall be extended. You shall stay in your enemies' lands until you get it right, or at least the majority of you get it right. Everybody keeps saying we going home, we going home. I don't see it. How we going home? How we going home with all this idolatry we have in Israel today? I put up a post in my room today, in the other day, a couple of days ago, and that post says something like, and why did I? Because they don't know the Creator. And this is part 2 of that. They don't know the Creator. Israel didn't know the Creator then. We don't know the Creator now. The post I put up says something like, is it okay for a Hebrew to pray to the Creator and to Yeshua? I asked that question honestly, and I really wanted to know the answer to that question. Is it okay for a Hebrew to pray tefillah to the Creator and to Yeshua? Some people said yes, some people said no. Some people argue with the people who said yes, some people argue with the people who said no. What this showed is a division in Israel today. This shows us why we haven't left this land of captivity. This shows us why we're still dying in the streets, why we're still being punished, and we haven't risen back to our rightful place in glory before the Almighty. I do see some signs of it lessening, this punishment that's upon us. I do see it being placed on our enemies. I do see it being placed on them, but nowhere near what we need to get out of here anytime soon. We are on our way home, family. We are. But it's going to take a lot more redemption for us to get out of here. A lot more changing of our minds and our attitudes and our behavior before we get out of here. And our men have to stand up and be men and leave that emotional stuff behind. That's the hardest part. It is grafted into our emotions spiritually because our ancestors did it too. This didn't just start with this generation right here. Some of us lived 40 and 50 years practicing idolatry. That's really heavy on us. If a man is with a woman that he don't even like, after 40 and 50 years, he got a certain love for her. And he don't even like her, but he got a certain love for her. He don't want to just let her go. They got things together. They got people together. They probably got children. He don't want to just let her go. So I understand why you hold on to the degrees that you hold on to Islam, to Buddhism, to the Greek deity. I understand all those things. And I'm not saying that you have to stop doing things because Prince say you got to stop doing these things. All I'm simply asking is go to the Creator and ask the Creator, what would he have for you to do? That's all. And don't call him by no name and pray to him in anybody's name, because when you do that, that voids out your whole prayer. Just say Creator, simply. Because if you say Creator, you can't be wrong, because it ain't but one Creator. Just say Creator. What will you have for me to do? Who would you have for me to serve? Is this individual you? Is this individual a part of you? Is this individual worthy of praise and glory and honor and respect? That's all you need to do. A lot of us have made that transition, and what we say now is, well, I don't pray to Yeshua, Yahweh. I don't pray to him. He's only the Messiah to me. So if you believe he's the Messiah, I would never argue with you. You won't get nothing from me. I can't fight with you on that if that's what you believe. As long as you don't believe this is the Creator, you won't get too much of a fight out of me. If you're not praying to him, you won't get too much of a fight out of me. Because any man can believe that another man is a Moshiach. You can believe that if that's what you choose to do, and I'm not going to argue with you about that. But a lot of people say that that's all that they believe about him, and then the moment you say something negative about him, they want to fight you. Or they want to disconnect their friendship with you and don't want to hear you talk no more. How is that possible over a man? If you feel he's just a man and he was the Moshiach, he's not the Creator, then how come when I say he's a homosexual, you get twisted and you get offended and you don't want to talk to me no more? It doesn't make sense. So what that should show you is that he's more than just that, even to you. Although you profess that he's the Moshiach, that's all he is. He ain't the creator. He ain't God, as they say. He's just a man. He's the Moshiach that the creator blessed with. He's the son of the Most High. If you really believe that, then if I said Moshe was a homosexual, you wouldn't get mad. You wouldn't want to disassociate with me. You want to have a conversation. Yo, what are you talking about, Prince? Why you say that? Where's that at? Where you getting your evidence from? Why? You would want to investigate to see where I get this crazy idea from. But if you say that about their Lord and Savior, they got a problem with that. So therefore, I don't understand. If he's not the creator to you, why are you so upset and offended? But I'm like this here. You can say what you want to say about the Almighty. Because if the creator I serve is the creator I say he is, he going to fight his own battles. I ain't got to defend him. I'm a man. I ain't a man. I'm locked in flesh and blood, just like you. And I trust the Most High to destroy his enemies and those who speak ill about him. I don't have to go to war with you. That's all I'm saying about that subject. I'm going to leave that alone. I'll leave you up to your own devices, but we got to understand that the Most High is opening the opportunity for us to return to him. He don't want us to return with the same mess that got us kicked out. Your faggot son come home saying, but I want to come back in the house. You still messing with men? Yeah, but I don't mess with that many men. Only one. You going to let him back in your house? I'm not. But then I tell you what, the Christian mindset will say, accept him as he is. He's the prodigal son. He's returning home. Embrace him. Love him as he is. And then that all depends on what Christian you're talking to. It all depends. Because if you go to the Christian church, the average Christian church, they're full of those people. Full of them. Pastor one, too. They full of them. But then some Christian churches ain't having it. Oh, no, you're getting up out of here with this. I respect that. Let's get back to the scriptures, family.
Hallelujah. We're in the first book of Shemuel, chapter 5, verse 6. The hand of Jehovah's lay heavy upon the Ashdodites, and he wrought havoc among them. He struck Ashdod and its territory with hemorrhoids. When the men of
what verse you on?
I'm at verse 6, chapter 5, verse 6 in the first book of Shemuel.
Yours says hemorrhoids. Okay, mine says tumors. But hemorrhoids is something you get in your rectum. Hemorrhoids, they hurt. You can't go to the bathroom. The insides come out. That's, boy, what a disease. What a way to strike somebody. Whoa. But here we have the Most High, just like I just said, fighting his own battles. Read on, please.
Verse 7. When the men of Ashdod saw how matters stood, they said, the ark of Ha-Elohim of Yisrael must not remain with us, for his hand has dealt harshly with us and with our god Dagon. They sent messengers and assembled all the lords of the Philistines and asked, what shall we do with the ark of Ha-Elohim of Yisrael? They answered, let the ark of Ha-Elohim of Yisrael be removed to Gath. So they moved the ark of Ha-Elohim of Yisrael to Gath. And after they had moved it, the hand of Jehovah had came against the city, causing great panic. He struck the people of the city, young and old, so that hemorrhoids broke out among them.
Man, he's striking them all in the rectum. He's striking them all. Read on, please.
Verse 10. Then they sent the ark of Ha-Elohim to Ekron. But when the ark of Ha-Elohim came to Ekron, the Ekronites cried out, they have moved the ark of Ha-Elohim of Yisrael to us to slay us and our kindred. They too sent messengers and assembled all the lords of the Philistines and said, send the ark of Ha-Elohim of Yisrael away and let it return to its own place, that it may not slay us and our kindred. For the panic of death pervaded the whole city, so heavily that the hand of Ha-Elohim fallen there.
Do you see what's taking place? He went from place to place to place. That's what they did. They moved the Creator's Ark of the Covenant from place to place to place just to relieve the pain on themselves. That's what they did. From place to place to place. And then finally he said, let's get him up out of here for good. But everywhere where he went, he caused havoc. And the people couldn't understand it. He cut Dagog's head off and cut his hands off. They should have got the message the first time. But they still wasn't satisfied. But you know what, family? I want to say this to you. Do you realize that these people are picking up the Ark of the Covenant and moving it, and the Creator is allowing it to happen where no man is supposed to touch the Ark of the Covenant? In the end of all this, they're going to get wise because they men were dying. Read on. Let's see what happens, sis.
Verse 12. And the men who did not die were stricken with hemorrhoids. The outcry of the city went up to heaven.
If they didn't die, they got struck with hemorrhoids, tumors. Read on, please.
Chapter 6. The ark of the ark of the Creator remained in the territory of the Philistines 7 months.
The number of completion, 7 months. Read on, please. Well, the holy number, 7 months.
Then the Philistines summoned the priests and the diviners and asked, what shall we do about the ark of Ha Elohim? Tell us what we shall send. Selika. What shall we do with the ark of Ha Elohim? Tell us with what we shall send it off to its own place. They answered,
Watch what they answer. Watch the respect that they show to the Most High that you yourself don't show to the Creator. Watch this.
Are going to send the ark of Ha Elohim of Yisrael away. Do not send it away without anything. You must also pay an indemnity to him. Then you will be healed.
What? What? So they're familiar with the Almighty. Now, who are these people they talking to? Soothsayers, priests, diviners. What did I tell you? The Most High owns that world. But that's the back door. They don't know him. They're familiar with him. They know the secret arts. They know how to do things that the average person don't know how to do, but they don't know the Most High. You go through the front door. You can do greater than they could ever do, but you are asleep and you're stupefied. You don't know how to do it because you don't give in. You don't give your essence. You don't give your soul to this king. And if you did, you will have a power beyond your wildest imagination. But those people who worship the adversary, the diviners, the soothsayers, those smooth talkers, they knew how to appease the wrath of the Almighty. And plus, they probably talked to some Israelites. Watch, read on, please.
Okay.
You did such a wonderful job, sis. Thank you.
Toda Rabah Hanasi. He will make himself known to you, otherwise his hand will not turn away from you. They asked, what is this indemnity that we should pay to him? They answered, 5 golden hemorrhoids and 5 golden mice, corresponding to the number of lords of the Philistines. For the same plague struck all of you and your lords. You shall make figures of your hemorrhoids and of the mice that are ravaging your land. Thus you shall honor Ha Elohim of Yisrael, and perhaps he will lighten the weight of his hand upon you and your gods and your land.
So maybe he will stop beating up on your gods. This is funny. Read on, please.
Cain, verse 6. Don't harden your hearts as the Egyptians and pharaohs hardened their hearts. As you know, when he made a mockery of them, they had to let Yisrael go, and they departed. Therefore, get a new cart ready and 2 milch cows, and who have not borne a yoke. Harness the cows to the cart, but take back indoors the calves that follow them. Take the ark of Ha Elohim and place it on the cart, and put next to it in a chest the gold objects you are paying him as indemnity. Send it off and let it go its own way. Then watch. If it goes up the road to Beth Shemesh, to his own territory, it is he who has inflicted this great harm on us. But if not, we shall know that it was not his hand that struck us. It just happened to us by chance.
You see how they did that? Now I want to point, don't read no further. Watch this. They didn't leave nothing to chance. You know what they said? They said, put it on some ark, on some animals. Now, I want y'all to know, they said cows or calves, but these was male cows that they put it on. Bulls. There is no such thing. The cow that you know today did not exist back then. This cow that you eating today was a modified version of an ancient animal. It wasn't in existence back in these days. Let's move on. Look how they did this. They did something that you need to learn to do. A lot of us need to learn to do this, and our lives will be so much easier. They didn't leave anything to chance. What they said was, we're going to take all this gold, and we're going to take that Ark of the Covenant, and we're going to put all this stuff on top of 2 bulls, and we're just going to let the bulls go. If the bulls go up the hill to Beth Shemesh, which is Israelite town, then we know that their power had something to do with this. But if the bulls don't go nowhere and do nothing, then we know that this was just by chance, just by coincidence. Now, they said all that in the hearing of the Creator. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? They said all that in the hearing of the Creator to challenge the Creator to prove himself to them one final time. How many of us have ever done something like that in our lives with something so severe as idolatry? Challenge the Most High to prove that he's not who you think he is. Because, why? Why? Because they did not know the Creator, and neither do you. Challenge him. They said, you know what? This might be a coincidence, or this might be the works of their power, the power of Israel. So let's do this simple test. Let's let them go and see which way they go. Read on, sis. Let's see what happened next.
Hallelujah. We're at verse 10. Salika. The men did so. They took 2 milch cows and harnessed them to the cart and shut up their calves indoors. They placed
the word for milk is kolak. This word ain't kolak. So they got 2 milk cows, but it's something other than kolak. So we have to understand what that word means one day. I'm going to have to do some research on that. They took 2 male cows and they yoked them to the cart. I'm sorry. Read on, sis, please.
Hallelujah. Verse 11. They placed the ark of Ha Elohim on the cart together with the chest, the golden mice, and the figures of their hemorrhoids. The cows went straight ahead along the road to Beth Shemesh. They went along a single high road, lowing as they went.
They went up a single high road. They went up a hill, which is more challenging for animals to walk. They would rather walk downhill on a flat surface. But they took the high road. They went up, which went against all odds. It defied all odds. So when you challenge the Most High, challenge him in a manner that it's no way that it could be except the Most High's hand is in it. Don't give him the easy way out. Give him the challenging way out. And if you're worthy, he will show you. And if you're not, he's just going to ignore you. So don't worry about it. Read on, please.
Cain. They went along a single high road, lowing as they went, and turning off neither to the right nor to the left. And the lords of the Philistines walked behind them as far as the border of Beth Shemesh. The people of Beth Shemesh were reaping their wheat harvest in the valley. They looked up and saw the ark, and they rejoiced when they saw it. The cart came into the field of Yehoshua of Beth Shemesh, and it stopped there. They split up the wood of the cart and presented the cows as a burnt offering to the Creator. A large stone was there.
You quick, sis. When you get to a period, pause for a second in case I want to jump in, all right?
Cain.
You quick, though. I like your reading, boy. You just like make somebody get mesmerized by the way you just putting these words together. Y'all hear Prince, right? Yeah. So listen, sis, when you get to a period, just hold up a second, all right?
Cain, hallelujah.
Now watch this. Now the people of Beth Shemesh was reaping their wheat harvest in the valley. And when they lifted up their eyes and saw the ark, they rejoiced. The cart came into the field of Joshua of Beth Shemesh. Yahushua. Yahushua is he shall save. And then it's Yahushua of Beth Shemesh, and it stopped there. The Most High chose Yahushua. He was probably a righteous man. He was probably a worthy man. He probably walked past 20 people's vineyards, but he chose Yahushua and his house to stop at. A great stone was there, and they split up the wood of the cart and offered the cows as a burnt offering to the Most High. That's deep. Read on, sis, please.
Cain. A large stone was there, and the Levites took down the ark of Ha Elohim, and the chest it became Salika, and the chest beside it, containing the gold objects, and placed them on the large stone. Then the men of Beth Shemesh presented burnt offerings and other sacrifices to the Creator that day. The 5 lords of the Philistines saw this and returned the same day to Ekron.
So they returned back. They witnessed everything that took place. This is deep, man. This is really, really deep. Read on, please.
Verse 17. The following were the golden hemorrhoids that the Philistines paid as an indemnity to the Creator. For Ashdod, 1 for Gaza, 1 for Ashkelon, 1 for Gath, 1 for Ekron, 1. As for the golden mice, their number accorded with all the Philistine towns that belonged to the 5 lords, both fortified towns and unwalled villages, as far as the great stones on which the ark of the Ha Elohim was set down to this day in the field of Yahushua of Beth Shemesh.
This is deep, y'all. This is really deep. First thing is, when they got the Ark of the Covenant back, they honored the Creator. Did y'all see that? The first thing they did was took that wood, broke it down, took the golden things, put on top of the rock, and built an ark and slaughtered those 2 calves, those 2 cows, and offered them up as a burnt sacrifice to the Almighty in way of honoring him for returning his glory back to them again through the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant was a box that sat in the holies of holies in the temple, behind the veil. And on top of the Ark of the Covenant was 2 angels with their wings facing each other that formed a mercy seat in the middle of the Ark of the Covenant, where the Shekinah, the glory of the Most High, came and rested upon when he communed with the high priest once a year. That's what the Ark of the Covenant was. So the Ark of the Covenant had a presence. It had a spirit about it, that when the people saw it, they felt the power of the Almighty. That's how powerful it was. When Moshe used to go in the Ark of the Covenant behind the veil to meet with the Creator, to commune with the Creator, when he came out, his face was glowing. His face was glowing so bright that they had to put a veil over top of Moshe's face. So when y'all see in the movies when Moshe is walking around and you can see the color of his skin, that is an inaccurate depiction of Moses, of Moshe. Because Moshe had to walk around with a veil on his face to cover his face, because the radiant from the glory and being in the presence of the Almighty had illuminated his face. Moshe was accepted in all of the Most High's houses. Do y'all know what that means? That means he can go in the layers of the devil and say, hey, what's up, Satan? That means he can go into the layers of the Buddhists and say, what's up, Buddhists? That means he can go into the outermost parts of the heavens and say to the aliens, what's up, alien? And come back and be the same man he was before he went into any of those places, because he was fully accepted, because he had the knowledge of how to deal with these things. Most of us don't. Most of us, if we went into Satan's house, we would come back possessed or crazy or insane, or we'll die right away immediately. Moshe didn't have that issue. Moshe was accepted in all of the Most High's houses. There was no place in creation where Moshe couldn't travel to and return back to earth in this form and be fine. Then you're talking about a man that stood in the physical form in the presence of the Almighty, that no man shall see his face and live. That's how powerful he is. And Moshe stood in his presence. Behold this glory, family, because this is some real stuff. And a lot of times we don't give this story enough validity in our lives to understand the magnitude of the level that the Most High is speaking to us on. We water it down, we shake it up, we come all kind of crazy stuff about it, and we don't understand that the Most High is revealing himself to us through these scriptures in a book of remembrance so that we never forget. But what are we going to do? We forget. When do we forget? As soon as the sun goes down on the Shabbat day, we out. We out. As soon as it start getting a little bit dark, we out. Ring. And we gone. Back to the world. Back to giving Satan the best of us. Because we get the Most High one day. And then some of us even cut that down. Even that one day has become a half a day for some of us. And we don't give the Most High the best of us. Even on that half a day. And that's sad. We wear these fringes. We wear these kitono, you know, and we put on a facade as if we're righteous and holy. And we're not. And you know how you know? Because they did not know the Creator. If you knew the Creator, for real, and I'm going to say this lightly, but yet powerfully, if you really knew the Most High, none of this outside appearance that you put on would be necessary. Did y'all hear what I said? If you really knew the Creator, none of this stuff on the outward appearance that you wear, that you do, that you seek to gain every day in life, none of it will be necessary. None of it. But it's because you don't know the Most High. These things are all here to help build up your spirit toward the Creator, to teach you what discipline is. That's why when you go out the house, you got to put your fringes on to teach you how to be disciplined. That's why the material of the fabric you wear is all to teach you how to be disciplined. That material of fabric had to be a certain level, to a certain type of consistency, a certain type of harmony, a certain type of vibrational pattern to teach you to be disciplined. And when you master all the physical things in your circle and your circumference, the Most High elevates you to a spiritual level. He tests you to see if your spirit is right. He tests you. And a lot of us, we got the physical down pat. Oh, we look good. Long hair, braids, full beards, fringes, 100% cotton. Some got linen. We don't eat no pork. We vegan. But our soul is out of whack. We don't love each other. We don't share with each other. We don't show kindness nor respect to each other. But yet we think the Creator is going to commune with us. And we so filth. That physical, we got that down packed. Somebody look at you, they're going to take a picture and say, that's the model Israelite. Look at that. We've lost our way. Because we get so wrapped up in worldly material things that we overlook the things that matter most. And those things that are invisible, but yet visible, are the things that matter most. It's not how many physical possessions you can possess, how many cars or houses, or even a house, or even a car. Those things have nothing to do with your eternal life, because once your life is called back to the Creator, somebody else going to be driving that car. Somebody else going to be living in that house. Somebody else going to have that girl. So the things that matter most is those things that live on forever, that go with you in the light, in the time of judgment. And that is how you treated your brothers and your sisters, what you did to the people who was less fortunate than you, how you shared the resources that the Most High blessed you with. Did you share it with people? Did you do it to come up off of people? That's a question. You have to ask that. Because these are the things you take with you. These are the things that shows the Creator your value and your worth. Samuel would have never qualified if he had the values that we hold sacred today. I got to get me a big house. I got to get me a nice car. Oh, I got to get me some money, man. I need some money. It's not all about that. You start off one way understanding that it's not about that, but then all of a sudden you get introduced to Satan and your whole ideal of reality of life switches. What do you think that is? It's a trick by the adversary to make you desire what they have to lose your eternity. And a lot of us don't see that. A lot of us are chasing after material gain because we see how we can get so much more if we did it that way. And we lose out on the Most High. You ready, sis?
Cain. We're in verse 19. The Creator struck at the men of Beth Shemesh because they looked into the ark of the Creator. He struck down 70 men among the people and 50,000 men. The people mourned, for he had inflicted a great slaughter upon the population.
Wow, they knew not to do that. Read on, sis, please.
Verse 20. And the men of Beth Shemesh asked, who can stand in attendance on the Creator, this holy high Elohim? And to whom shall...
I'm sorry, but the problem was they did not know the Creator. You understand? That's why he struck them down, because they didn't know him. The Philistines treated the Most High better than his own people. You didn't read anything about the Philistines looking in the Ark of the Covenant. But we get it back. We already know that ain't nobody supposed to be touching it but the priests. But instead of allowing the priests to do their job, other people wanted to get involved. And a lot of us died that day, gazing on the Most High, trying to see what was going on, trying to do and be what we weren't supposed to do and be. And a lot of people in this life right now is doing exactly that. Nasik said that earlier. And he said also that the Most High will rub you out for trying to do and be who you're not supposed to do and be. Read on, please.
And to whom shall he go up from us? They sent messengers to the inhabitants of Kiriath Yearim to say, the Philistines have sent back the ark of the Creator. Come down and take it into your keeping.
Come down and get this. They knew not to touch it no more because they kept falling off. They knew that the people kept dying. Everybody kept looking and it ended up dead. So what did they say? Come down and get this. We don't want no more death. Go ahead, sis. We can run through that.
The men of Kiriath Yearim came and took up the ark of Ha Elohim and brought it into the house of Abinadab on the hill. And they consecrated his son Eleazar to take charge of the ark of Ha Elohim. A long time elapsed from the day that the ark was housed in Kiriath Yearim, 20 years in all, and all the house of Yisrael yearned after the Creator.
So a lot of time had passed. A subtotal of 20 years. That's a nice little bit of time. Read on.
Verse 3. And Shemuel said to all the house of Yisrael, if you mean to return to the Creator with all your heart, you must remove the alien gods and the Ashtoreth.
Oh, wait a minute. What did he just say? Read Read that again, please, real slow for the people in the back.
Verse 3, in the middle of verse 3. If you mean to return to the Creator with all your heart, you must remove the alien gods and the Ashtaroth from your midst and direct your heart to the Creator and serve Him alone.
So what did he say? Sis, one more time, please. I don't mean to be just having you repeat this for nothing, but there's some people in the back of the audience that don't understand, that don't hear. You might have stuttered a little bit and they didn't catch it. One more time, please.
Hallelujah. If you mean to return to Jehovah with all your heart, you must remove the alien gods and the Ashtaroth from your midst and direct your heart to the Creator and serve Him alone.
Oh, God, it can't be no clearer. I couldn't have put it no clearer myself. The Most High is telling us what to do. Him alone shall you serve. You must put all the Ashtaroth, all the foreign deities, all these deities out of your midst, out of your mind, out of your heart means out of your mind. Because the Most High knew that we would be emotionally attached to these deities. Get them out of your heart and turn to the Most High and the Most High alone. This is deep, man. A whole lot deeper than you can imagine. He's pleading with us. But guess what? Even after the day, we ain't going to hear. A lot of us ain't going to hear. There might be one or two that wake up and say, you know what? I'm done with that. I want to get with the Most High with all of my soul. The Most High is saying, if you really want to get with him all of your soul, leave all those deities alone. Now, I know y'all thought I was just picking on y'all through this lesson. Not nobody here. I'm talking about all them other people to come. Y'all thought I was just picking with y'all idolatry. I'm not. I'm telling you what the Most High said so that you can build a relationship with him once again because you do not know him. And if you wish to know him, I said it earlier, you got to remove all that stuff out of your vocabulary, all that stuff out of your heart, and pray to him and him alone. Don't say the name of no power, just say Creator. I don't care if you pray to Yah, Yehovah, Yotzeh, I don't care who you pray to. Don't use the name of no power. Just say Creator. And leave it at that. And see what he does in your life. Read on, please.
Cain, hallelujah. Then he will deliver you from the hands of the Philistines. And the Israelites removed the Baalim and Ashtaroth, and they served the Creator alone.
Oh, man, the Most High be praised. They served the Most High and the Most High alone. He didn't have no partners. They didn't bind no partners with him. They didn't say the only way to get to the Most High is through that right there. They didn't do that. They left all of that alone and worshiped the Most High and the Most High only. Read on, please.
Verse 5. Shemuel said, assemble all Yisrael at Mizpah, and I will pray to the Creator for you. They assembled at Mizpah, and they drew water and poured it out before the Creator. They fasted that day, and they were confessed that they had sinned against the Creator.
What? This is getting better and better. Did you see what she said? The man of the Most High put out a call. He said, I've seen all your sins and your wickedness and all that you've done for so many years. Now let's get right with the Almighty. Let's go down to the waters and let's fast and let's pray. He didn't say this was a day of atonement, but they're looking for redemption. They're looking to get to know the Most High. What did I tell you earlier? Put all that stuff out of your mouth and just talk to the Most High. Call him this. Take a fast. Go fast. Pray. Meditate. Go fast for 3 days or 4 days or 5 or 6 or whatever it is. Bring affliction upon yourself and call out to this King. Ask him for mercy and forgiveness and ask him to show you his truth. And Prophet Samuel said the same thing. Gathered at Mizpah and drew water and poured it out before the people, before the Most High. And they fasted on that day and said there, they confessed their iniquity before the Almighty. We have sinned against you, O Most High Sovereign King. And then Samuel judged the people in Israel. He had a little lesson like what we're doing right here. He talked about all the wickedness that they did. Read on, please.
Cain. And Shemuel acted chieftain of the Israelites at Mizpah. Verse 7. When the Philistines heard that the Israelites had assembled at Mizpah, the lords of the Philistines marched out against Israel. Hearing this, the Israelites were terrified of the Philistines, and they employed
terrified of the Philistines because the Philistines just beat them up. 20 years ago, the last fight they had, they got beat up, decimated. So they're afraid of the Philistines. But watch what happens. They got Samuel on their team. They got the Almighty backing them up. And they just confessed their sins before the Creator. Let's see what happens.
Verse 8. And they employed Shemuel. Do not neglect us, and do not refrain from crying out to the Creator, our Ha Elohim.
Do you see how the people of Israel went to the man of the Most High and asked him to pray for them? Do y'all see that? We too proud in our hearts to do that today. We too proud, too arrogant in our spirits to think that somebody can be closer to the Creator than we are. And we know the type of life we live. We know the wickedness that we are engaged in. We know the sinful acts that we practice in the dark when we don't think nobody around. But we don't go to nobody else that we know is better than us and ask them to pray on our behalf. We need to stop fooling ourselves, family. There are some of us who know the Most High, but there's far too many of us who don't. Read on, sis.
Verse 9. Thereupon Shemuel took a suckling lamb and sacrificed it as a whole burnt offering to the Creator. And Shemuel cried out to the Creator in behalf of Yisrael. And the Creator responded to him. For as Shemuel was presenting the burnt offering and the Philistines advanced to attack Yisrael, the Creator thundered mightily against the Philistines that day. He threw into confusion. They were routed by Yisrael.
Didn't have to lift a hand. Read on.
Verse 11. The men of Israel sallied out of Mizpah and pursued the Philistines, striking them down to a point below Beth-kar.
Didn't have to lift their hand. They didn't have to fight. They was already in confusion. They was already running. And we went after them. And then we started killing them. Read on, please.
Verse 12. Shemuel took a stone and set it between Mizpah and Shen, and named it Ebenezer. For up to now, he said, the Creator has helped us. The Philistines were humbled and did not invade the territory of Israel again. And the hand of the Creator was set against the Philistines as long as Shemuel lived. The towns which the Philistines had taken from Israel, from Ekron to Gath, were restored to Israel. Israel recovered all her territory from the Philistines. There also was peace between Israel and the Amorites. Verse 15. Shemuel judged Israel as long as he lived. Each year he made the rounds of Bethel, Gilgal, and Mizpah, and acted as judge over Israel at all those places. Then he would return to Ramah, for his home was there. And there too he would judge Israel. He built an altar there to the Creator.
May the Most High be praised. It's a wonderful reading today, family. There's a wonderful reading today. So let's take the time, family. Let's talk. All right. What do we get from today's lesson? What's some of the points that stood out to us today through today's reading? We got a little bit of time. Let's talk. And Ima, if you got some things that you want to, the people might have said that you feel is worthy of putting up, do your thing. Let's go. Let's talk, family. What do we get out of today's reading? How has it affected your relationship or your desire to begin to know the Almighty? Y'all ain't all got to rush at the same time. I know y'all still in shock from what y'all heard and some of the things that was revealed to you. I know it's still a little bit shocking for you. But please, family, let's communicate. Let's talk. Let's express ourselves. Let's talk. What's up? What have you gotten out of this? Ima?
In guitar says the Most High had to let the Philistines know that their victory over Israel had nothing to do with their might.
Absolutely. And that's why he attacked all their powers, tore down their high places, and decimated their people.
Mattathiah says, Cain, you don't have to defend a lion. A lion will always defend himself.
A lion will always defend himself. May the Most High be praised. To the Rabbi.
Chief Malak says, the Creator said we will pine in iniquity. Ain't going nowhere. The people too wicked. Got to keep them laws in and out. Oh, one place the world going, though, the pit.
Absolutely. May the Most High be praised. Talk to me, family. Talk to me. Let's go. Talk to me. Keep that momentum flowing, family.
Abraham says, when you're sinless, the Most High of hosts fights for you.
Indeed. May the Most High be praised.
Saadia says that the Creator proves the matter always. No false doctrine. Idol can deliver out of Ha Elohim's hand.
Absolutely. May the Most High be praised. To the Rabbi.
Abraham, discipline your children.
Discipline your children. Very good.
Saadia says also how Ha Elohim waits for us to prove our desire to truly serve him with our whole being.
May the Most High be praised.
She also said how we can ruin our own blessing according to High Priest Eli and his children did by ignoring evil and participating in evil. Death will surely come.
May the Most High be praised. To the Rabbi.
Yep.
That's it?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Sister Shivanya says, this lesson was really speaking to me that we have to put the Creator first, and first, anything can be a deity or barrier in being fully immersed in the Creator, even your thoughts and experiences. I think she's going to write some more. But is a clear message to put the Creator above all.
Absolutely. May the Most High be praised.
Abraham says Eli should have fired them, not talk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what he should have did. Praise be the Almighty.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyone else?
Okay, Total Rabbi Prince for a great lesson, and one of the points that stood out to me was the fact that countless times, once again, the Creator showing us that we are to serve Him with singleness of mind and heart, and in that we see where so many people just, again, like today, that are mishandling the word of our Creator, that there's nothing but destruction that can come to them. They try to offer strange fire. They try to bring things to try to appease him. But when they're not the one that's supposed to be handling it in the first place, nothing but destruction can come. And then, like I say, not only just them, but death and destruction and punishment follows them and everybody that's associated with them. And so, again, great lesson. There were a lot of phenomenal points that you brought out, but that's some of the ones that that really stood out to me.
All
So,
right. Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. Toda Rabbah. Wow. We had a great reader. She read very good today, especially for her first time. She read very good. Ima, you want to say anything?
I always like the way that you bring the lessons out. I think the most important thing to me that stood out today was just your relationship with the Creator and solidifying that, above all, and truly understanding. Made me think about too, like how we'll say consistently, and I know I've said it, oh, I'm gonna pray about it and wait for the Creator to give me an answer. And sometimes the answer, he may be showing us the message through other ways. He's not going to come in a dream, but it may be somebody else telling us something, and we're not paying attention to what we even prayed about to even understand where the answer may come from. We're only looking at it. We're looking for it to come one way, and the Most High will send it in all different type of ways. So that spoke out to me, like just paying attention, that once you ask, he's going to answer you, or he may not answer you, but if he does, to open your ears to everything that you're in the midst of, because the lesson or the answer may come through that. And it kind of confirms, because I know I was talking to you about an issue out here with some people that I'm working with. And then yesterday, before the Shabbat came in, I was talking to one of the sisters that I'm working with, and something she said, because I told you I'm waiting for the Creator to give me the answer to, to stop doing so much for this particular thing. And then something she said, because we were talking about a lot of stuff, but we started talking about the Creator and just where she is and what she's trying to be in her life. But something she said was my answer, but if I wasn't paying attention to our conversation, and being, I guess, even earnest truly about waiting for him to give me an answer to, move forward or to stay in the space, then I wouldn't have heard the message and wouldn't have known what to do for me, and not to just be a follower. So I think that's what stood out to me. It's just keeping our ears clean and our heads on straight so that we can hear it, and just paying attention.
All right. May the Most High be praised. I'm glad you was paying attention. Glad you were focused. All right. We have, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, Zaquina Sukari says, when the Creator does, nobody can say, when the Creator says yes, nobody can say no.
That's right. May the Most High be praised.
And then, so Adia says, the lesson truly speaks profoundly for spiritual elevation, even fasting before Yom Kippur to correct our steps and transgressions against the Creator.
That's right. Before she put that back up for a minute, please. Mm-hmm. May the Most High be praised. But what I want you to know is that once you recognize that you walked in error, at that moment is when you ask the Most High for forgiveness. And a day of Yom Kippur is needed and necessary from you at that time to have your voice heard on high. You should fast immediately. You should turn down your plate, sacrifice, and offer offering to the Most High at that time. And that's how it should be with all of us. When we recognize that we have done something wrong for so long before the Creator, we have to give something back to Him. And as I said earlier, when you're looking for something from Him, you should fast and pray and seek His face.
Mm-hmm.
Rabbi.
And TT says, Torah for the opportunity, Hanasi. I had to read the tiny font with the magnifying glass. The Creator worked well with me and what I had available. All praises to the Creator Most High. Yes, she did a phenomenal job reading today.
Excuse me. That was my You see what I mean, Ab, about this? You see how they do us?
Wait.
No, you're right, though. She did a phenomenal job. Thank you. May the Most High be praised. We'd have never known that you were reading from a magnifying glass. You did such a wonderful job. Thank you. To the Rabbi.
And
that's not your phone, is it, Amy?
Yes.
No, that wasn't your phone. That was a mistake. That must be somebody must have left that phone there or something.
No, it was one of my children. So even when I have it on private, if they call, it comes through in case of emergency.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Melchizedek says, Prince Kez, powerful, awesomely high, uplifting class. Hallelujah. Thank you.
May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbi. Yeah. And that's a man that travels on a lot of spiritual planes. So he said it was a good class. He must have been up in the seventh heaven looking down, watching it or something. Because he do a lot of, that's the brother that fasted for 100 and something days, was it? Was it 90 days or 190 days? Melchizedek, how long was it that you fasted? Was it 90 days? Yeah.
And then Chief Malak says, second week I spent with you, Prince Kaz, and family. Great lessons, my brother, Baruch Shema.
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabah. All right. So is that it? We're going to wrap it up, family?
You want me to do announcements?
Yeah, you can do that. I'm waiting for my brother, Melchizedek, how he says it. I wanted him to say it for us, but he didn't come to do it. But I'm just waiting for him to tell us how long it was that he was fasting. I'm not sure if it was 90 days or 190 days. But I know it was a long time, and it was a powerful fast. So go ahead, Iman. You can do the announcements, please.
Okay. Sister Shivani says, pray everyone have a beautiful week.
Rabbi, sis.
All right. Shalom, shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom. The Holy Week actually begins this coming, the Holy Season, the end of it begins this coming week. And you want me to read that?
No, go ahead. Do your thing. We'll get to it.
Okay. And so I just wanted to give everybody the dates again. The first, who follow our calendar, the first day coming in is I'm sorry, is Teruah.
Yom Teruah.
Yeah, Yom Teruah. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about different things. Yom Teruah, which is going to come in the night of the 4th and all day the 5th. So that's on the night of the 4th, which is Wednesday night, and all day the 5th. And then the next week following is Yom Kippurim, which comes in on the night of the 13th, and then all day the 14th, which is on Yom Shabbat. So we have a double Shabbat in the manner of 2 holy days on the Shabbat, which is beautiful. And then the 5 days after that, Sukkot is from the 19th through the 25th. Then the night of the 25th, going into the 26th, is Shemini Atzeret, which is the 8th holy day, which is the last holy day of the holy season. So I look forward to seeing those who are able to come physically and also, of course, virtually. We will have Shabbat class and holy day lessons on those days. Usually on the holy days, the lessons aren't the full day, but we will still host class on those days. And also Yom Kippurim, I believe, will be virtual the whole day because it's Shabbat and we'll be, in our fasting. So I think that's it for that.
May the Most High be praised. Thank you all for coming out. May the Most High increase your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Him so that one day you can say, I know the Creator, and be accurate in your speech. May the Most High also bear a record of who you are in this existence in time and day to the rest of the world, to the rest of the earth, and to all of Israel. If you are a prophet, may the Most High acknowledge that. May He acknowledge it. If you are a servant of His, may the Most High acknowledge that before flesh and blood. We don't have to say who we are and what we're doing. Let the Most High give us our praise. Let Him acknowledge it before the world and before man, through your works, through your doings, through your actions, through your existence. And that's part of the issue right now. We have too many people who want to be what the Most High has not intended for them to be. And not only that, but who they say they are and their works that they say they're supposed to do, they don't live up to it. There you go. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. Any other questions or comments, family, before we close it out? Can't hear you, Emma.
Tefillah.
Okay, you ready? Abi, our power, our king, our master, our ruler, the Holy One of Israel. We come unto you, Abi, at this time, asking for permission to approach unto your throne. Thank you, Father, for opening up our minds and teaching us your truth. Thank you, Father, for forgiving us of our sins and our iniquities and giving us a fresh start to walk in the direction of serving, honoring, and praising you. Thank you, Father, for reintroducing yourself to us on this day. I ask, O great King, that those who are meant to hear your voice has heard your voice, will acknowledge all that you say for them to do, and will do the things that you have put in place and in motion for them to obey. Have mercy upon us, Abi, for we are all lost, searching and seeking to please you. There are none of us who has it down pat completely. There are none of us that are perfect in every way. We ask that you remove the stumbling blocks from our lives, place us in a place that will make it more comfortable and better for us to surrender our whole entire will over to thee. For truly we desire to do so, but the places we are for some of us is just not befitting for us to walk away from people and things and get secluded into our service of worshiping you. But give us the strength, give us the energy, give us the power, give us the know-how, give us the ability to do so. And all those, Father, that you choose to be in Beulah land for these holy days, touch their soul, touch their heart, touch their mind, and bring them home, Father. Bring them to this place so that we can serve you, worship and honor you, so that together we can get up, lift up, raise up, and be one in our certification unto thee. Truly, you are the master, you are the king, and you are the giver of all life. Unto thee we humble ourselves, and we say thank you, Ali, for all that you have done for us. Unto thee we all say, Toda, Abi, Abi, Toda Rabbah. Thank you, Father, for hearing our prayers. Toda Rabbah. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.